everybody, and welcome to the pre-Moonbase 2 show with me and Big D. Hey, Big D.
Hey, dude.
How's it going?
It's not going too badly.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's good.
How's you been doing?
I can't complain either. I mean, I could. I'm not gonna, but I could complain. We were just talking before the show started, and you asked what I've been up to. And I've been putting together my solar auxiliary figures. I still don't really know what to do with the Sentinels, the light Sentinels, because they're very not right to be Sentinels. In my mind, I'm like, I know what I'll do. I'll 3D print off some bigger legs to make them the right size. And then I'm like, how much of a faff is it to get my 3D printer to actually work and do a decent print?
Well, look, here's my logic, because my plan is, because I quite fancy using that model of Sentinel as Scout Sentinels in my larger guard army.
Yeah, they're good for it because they're not the right size, but they look like light Sentinels.
They're not the right height, but they're on the right base size, I think.
No, they're too small. They're 10 millimeters too small. The Sentinels are on a 60 and these are on a 50 or something.
Okay. Well, my logic has always been, so long as you're consistent with the unit across the army. So in this case, the Scout Sentinel is one particular unit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So long as all your Scout Sentinels have the same base size and have the same basic silhouette, I can't see anyone. I wouldn't have a problem with that. It's how I'd run it.
I want you to consider this as well. What's coming reasonably soon in Conquest?
Well, we're getting the full fat Sentinel.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, annoyingly, it's spread across 2 issues. There's going to be 20 quid for one.
It's still cheaper.
It's still a 30% discount off retail, which is not to be sniffed at.
No, I mean, the standard guard one is better. I mean, any kit from Conquest is better where everything's on one sprue and you just get 2 of them. That's why the guard's like half the price. Well, more than half the price. It's what, like 60% off?
The thing is, it's so weird because, all right, there's a weird thing they're doing with Conquest, because there's not actually been a logic to how some of the units have been released.
Oh, in terms of like order, I thought they were just doing them in blobs.
Well, not in order. In terms of how they've been splitting some units up and some not. Because the Imperial Guard Infantry Squad is the same number of sprues as the Gene Stealer Brood Brothers.
Yeah, it's like 2 sprues or something, right?
I think it's 3. So
3?
Standard infantry squad is 2 to 3 sprues, right?
Okay.
And they did the same thing with the Eldar, with the Guardians, and with the Termagants, and with the Einhar Herfkin, where they've split infantry units across 2 issues. Still makes it a good saving, but then you have other armies where, so like the Orcs had 1 mob of Orcs per issue. So one box set of Orcs per issue. The Guard is 1 per issue. I mean, the Guard, apart from the Sentinel, everything is 1 issue for a unit. Which is...
Oh, is that the same for the heavy, like, not the big gun emplacement ones, but the heavy assault team? The one with the bazookas?
The heavy weapon team. Yeah, that's going to be 1 issue. That's going to be a really... That's going to be absurdly good value, because you can make so much out of that.
The worst thing about that kit, is you only get 3 tripods.
3 tripods and 3 barrels for the mortar/missile launcher.
Yeah. Yeah, and that sucks.
Yes, but folks have got files you can print to get around that.
Again, that goes back to my 3D printer is maybe maybe I've just had the worst luck with 3D printing ever, but it's been such a faff. It's one of those things where I keep thinking I should go back to it and try again, but it's such an effort, and I don't want to go through consistent failure after failure. It's
one of those things. It's still not quite consumer easy access level.
Well, I've had more failures than I think anybody else I've talked with, because I've talked obviously on the Fluff and Hammer boards and Gruff and Jai, and they didn't know why I kept getting failures. They had no idea, and after that much failures, it becomes wearing.
It can really be dispiriting. Yeah. I get
especially with wearing all the PCP stuff and resin cleanup and all that crap.
Yeah.
And it takes so long just to print, and then you have to clean it all just to
Yeah.
find out it's a failure. It's a real faff.
And I mean, printers have become cheaper, but they're still not exactly an inexpensive item.
No. Granted, I bought mine secondhand, so and it was on a real good deal, but you had to buy all the other stuff as well. It's
Yeah.
like Warhammer. You buy one
Yeah.
thing, and it's like, well, you can't really do it with just the printer. You need loads of other stuff as well.
Yes. It's forever the case, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
I did manage to get like 6 things out of my heavy team. One of my my autocannons, so instead of having a tripod, has the front of the tripod and then 2 bits of awkwardly stuck on sprues onto the backside of it. And I was like, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll paint it metal. It'll be fine.
I think initially, because when they released the heavy weapon team initially, I think I bought 2. So, and I've gotten a missile launcher squad, a mortar squad, and an autocannon squad.
Okay, like a full team of 3.
3 full teams of 3, and I still have some bits. Because I used because the bipod is the same one on the mortar as the emplacement weapons.
Yes.
So which is slightly annoying that way, but I was able to make use. I took the bodies of the gunners and I mixed those around, spread some of those into my guard squad as well.
I was going to say, how did you get 9 people? Because there's only 6 people in that box.
Well, missile launchers look really great if the guys are standing up.
Oh, so you use standard Cadian troops for it?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. So you need to use extra troops from something else to do it, basically.
Oh yeah, but
okay.
But there's kind of a point if you're doing guard, you eventually have so many troopers.
Oh yeah. I forgot how many Imperial Guard units you have.
Yeah.
Until you showed like a small box full of them.
I mean, I got 2 of the launch box, so I ended up with, and I make a habit of I'm always checking eBay for stuff on sale and bit sites for bargains. Because there comes a point where you realise, well, if these little bits I need for these are going cheap, that means I can afford to just grab a load of bodies because I don't want more guns because I have all the guns I need and all the arms.
That's true. You have a fuck ton of guards with Imperial Guard, but you don't always have the torsos and legs. You have a fuck ton of heads as well. The things you're usually missing are legs, maybe backpacks, but then again, you don't need them. You can run without backpacks, but backpacks, and then legs, torso, and that's about it. You'll have the arms probably. I
mean, I have enough Kazakin weapon arms left over. I'll probably kit out another 2 squads.
Yeah, not to mention the specialist weapons either. Like the flamer, the melters.
I mean, that's including the special weapons. In fairness, because you can only. It's annoying you can only field 3 squads from them because I'd happily field 6 units of Kazakin if I had a chance.
I guess you can't because they're really good though, right?
They are. I mean, I'm tempted just to try and bash together a Kazakin command squad or something.
They're really good
as a modern project.
They're really good for Imperial Guard units, is what I probably should say.
That's fair.
They're not the best units in the game or anything.
I mean, it won't stop me putting together a list with 60 Scions, 30 Aquilons, 30 Kazakin, and some command.
And it's funny because like Tempest Scions are not even great units, really, from what I've seen. They're fine, but they're just not cost effective, really, for the most part.
Yeah, their rules have fluctuated massively over the editions, in fairness.
I'm sure they used to be like the bee's knees. Same for the Turoks, even though the Turoks always looked like shit.
Yeah, there was a point where they really did. I mean, there was a point where they finally got the HAL guns, the hotshot lasguns, dialed in. Because in earlier editions, they were a bit of a pain because they couldn't really. They had good armor penetration, but they couldn't really punch into anything.
Okay.
You couldn't cause wounds. Now, in more recent editions, they've become a lot better at doing that because of some of the buffs you can get from either orders, unit attachments, all that stuff. So it's made it a bit easier. And when a Las troop a guardsman is knocking a space marine down to a 5 or a 6+ armor save, that is quite tasty.
Yeah, that's much better. All right.
Yeah.
Before we go on to the podcast, this is what I would like to see for Guard from 11th edition. Okay. So the lame, boring beta answer is let's just redo the Kadachan, right?
Yes.
That's the lame answer. The Chad masculine manly answer is go full mutant. So new Ogren, more rattling,
Oh God, yes.
specialist rattlings, and cat
The
girls.
rattlings.
Bring in the cat girls. It's time.
I was waiting for that.
It's time.
You had to mention the cat girls.
Fuck yes. There are cat girls in Warhammer. Let's bring them in. The Tau have their sexy blue ladies. Let's bring in the furries. It's time.
I mean, I can show you a bit of parts, an STL seller who has done cat girl parts for modern Cadians.
I bet. I've seen Mordian. I've seen Krieg Commissar ladies in all their glory, and I'm like, God bless her, the God Emperor.
Yeah. The guys at War Games Exclusive have a lot to answer for opening those floodgates, bless them.
Oh, yeah. They did like sexy Necron ladies, which is just kind of weird in itself as well.
Oh, yeah. Before any of the other folks out there got in on it, they were doing it by hand sculpting stuff
Chads.
and casting it. And now they've gone digital and everyone else has followed suit. And if you want a pin-up style 40k army,
that's where you go
for your army, go for it, because some of them are actually really nice models.
They do some really good orcs as well. They do good orcs, and they do some.
They do.
At the moment, they're making like orc corpses as well, which is quite fun. And that's like that's a neat idea. I'm only being slightly silly when I'm saying that, because we do need like new Ogrins, because you can't buy Ogrins at the moment. You can buy Bulgrins, which look kind of lame, but you can't buy the classic Ogrin.
It's the same box.
Yeah.
But they just brand it as Bulgrins because that's what people seem to want, and I wonder why, because I quite like Ogrins. Why? I mean, just the fact that the Ripper gun is an ogre-sized fully automatic shotgun. What's not to love, people? Come on.
Well, surely that needs to be your like, maybe not killy unit, but that has to be your tanky unit to absorb a little bit of fire by the tank, so you can screen your Cadians behind them. They can absorb a little bit of damage, or maybe they're like the better melee fighters or something like that. Something like that could be useful. I mean, and apart from that, we just need new Basilisk, because that thing's old, and again, you can't buy that in the shop. You have to order it online. New Hellhound, same for that. Field out the classic units.
In fairness, the Hellhound is actually it's more recent than you think.
Sure, but it's not a kit you can buy, because it's not the Chimera.
No, it's an online only one, unfortunately.
Yeah, because the only vehicles you can get at the moment are the Lehman Russ, the Chimera, which classic units. You can get I think can you still buy the Valkyrie in stores? I don't think so. I think that's order online only at this point.
That'd be odd if that's the case, because that's always a really popular kit with folks, even if it's never been good, just because it looks cool. It's a cool mod project.
And then you've got the anti-aircraft.
The Hydra.
It's crap. It's crap. It's not useful. Not in these editions.
Well, no, that's because they've mucked around with flyers and anti-air. Although, do you know what is actually a really good unit? What I think's actually slept on. Now it's in Space Marine Legends now. Their anti-air tank, that weird whirlwind variant that had either the giant single-shot missile or the two triple-barreled autocannon. Yeah, had two triple-barreled autocannon turret, and they were separate turrets.
Oh, okay.
But I was having a look at its rules. Are obnoxious, because it had a thing where if it fired Overwatch at a flyer or anything with the fly keyword, it could target any other units with the fly keyword within like 12 inches of that unit.
12 inches, goddamn.
It was something ridiculous. So for one Overwatch, you fired everything at each target. So each target would get a full salvo.
So you could potentially clear the skies.
I mean, and those two guns, they had anti-fly like 3+.
Oof.
So wounding anything with a fly keyword on a 3.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Sorry, did you say wounding or hitting?
wounding.
Well, oof, okay, yeah.
And it's Space Marine, so it's going to be hitting on like 3s. Even on Overwatch, Overwatch is 6s, but that many shots that it can put out,
Yeah.
that's doing work.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I do take your point. I mean, the biggest issue with those tanks, I think, is the crew. But my plan's actually been to.
Well, it's also they're very old to put together and a little bit fiddly, especially when you compare it to the new Lehman Russ, which is a lot more satisfying to build, and the parts actually lock together better.
Yeah.
Rather than like the older Lehman Russ, which is it's a little bit more. You have to look at it a lot more and be like, don't move. Is this perfectly in line with each other? I hope so.
I did build. I built a Heresy Russ before I built, because I hadn't actually built a Lehman Russ since the old hybrid kits, the original plastic and either metal or resin hybrids. That was the last time I built a Russ tank, because I built a Demolisher and an Exterminator.
Yeah,
using the original Demolisher kit and a Forge World Exterminator turret. The Heresy Russ, outside of what I did to it to give it sponsons, really nice kit to work with.
Yeah, super good.
I was, though, quite impressed with the other Russ, with how it was different from the original.
Yeah, you can see how it evolved.
It's still, it's less technically sound than the Heresy Russ, but I do appreciate what goes into it.
Yes.
I mean, the biggest thing I think could be they could do with doing a full. I mean, they could do with just redoing the 40k vehicle upgrade sprue.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And updating the crew. I mean, I'm quite surprised we haven't had a Krieg vehicle upgrade sprue, to be honest.
Yeah, the Krieg have had no vehicles so far, which is kind of weird. But
well, I'm sure they said they were going to get a vehicle upgrade sprue, like the Cadian upgrade sprue had, but nothing, which is.
Well, not yet, at least. Maybe they're waiting to get this the Christmas box out of the way with first.
Maybe. I mean,
wait till 11th, because 11th can't be too far off now.
I mean, I'm fully expecting we'll see a Jungle Fighter kill team, which hopefully will give Catachans more options than just flamers. Please God. I mean, I've been converting Catachan special weapons for nearly 30 years at this point, and they've now taken them all away because they're not in the kit. But I don't want to just have flamers. I want to have guns like all the rest of the boys.
Yeah.
But I mean, that'd be nice to have the Catachans revived. But I'd like to see them either as upgrade sprues or as full kits visit more of the other regiments as well. And I think kill team's where they'll do it, if anywhere.
Kill team's a smart place to do it.
Yeah,
I think with Catachan you can put them into the main 40k game. That makes sense still.
Yeah, I mean, Catachan are established. They still have the command and the heavy weapon teams, so it's just a case of redoing the base infantry squad.
Yeah.
But the other one, I mean, the thing is, Talon, you could actually get away with doing Talon Desert Raiders on the regular Cadian bodies. You just need the head with the mufti wrap. If you can work out the engineering to get that on a sprue.
It'd be nice to have a little bit more deserty distinctness to them, but I get what you're saying. It makes sense, but I'd like a little bit of difference for them.
Well, in a lot of the more recent art of the Talon, they are basically depicted as wearing the same general guard fatigues and body armor.
Oh, you know what that is, though. That's to make them less distinct, so it's easier to sell stuff.
A little bit.
Yeah,
but a decent upgrade through would be nice.
Yeah.
Or a full kit would be lovely. Same for Valhallans. I would love to have Mordians back as a mainline kit. That way you get Praetorians really easily, but I'm not sure on that score.
Probably not.
Vostrians would be fun to see in plastic.
Austrians? Oh my god.
Vostrians.
I'm going to say, if you want Austrians, you can go for Conflict 47.
Yeah. Or Bolt.
Bolt action. Yeah, Bolt action does it too.
Yeah,
true. Shall we get on to Transformers, though, Big D?
Oh, we probably should.
I just wanted to talk Warhammer because I haven't talked.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, music time, then the show. Let's go.
Here we are.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. It's me, Andy Decade Andy, with Big D here once again. Hello, Big D.
Hello.
That's right, we are returning to the Warrior class figures for Transformers 2015 RID. This is the second part. We covered the first part, whatever that really equates to last time, and we're picking up from where we left off there. We have Rodimus, Power Toy Collector in chat, who I didn't say hello to. I'm not going to say hello to Daddy, because he's probably already gone to play something, so... Hello, Rodimus, Power Toy Collector, and anybody else and everybody else who's watching as well. I hope you've been doing well, Big D.
I have. How have you been doing?
Not bad, not bad. I'm very happy, quote unquote, that the weather is turning grey and cold and nasty. Ha ha ha. It doesn't affect washing at all. See, I don't usually mind the cold and the rain. The only thing I do mind is it makes washing clothes and specifically drying clothes more complicated.
Yeah.
Because you gotta put it in a room, but you can't put it in a room with heating. Because you can't just put wet clothes on a radiator unless you're a big fan of black mold, and it takes a long time to dry them in outside in the wind. Because the wind will wind it, but if it's cold wind, it'll still take a while.
Well, we have a heated clothes rack that we can fold out and just plug into the mains and leave in the kitchen with all clothes on.
See, I only put my clothes on the rack when they're cold but not wet. I need to make sure that they're completely undampified before I do anything like that. I just like to be safe and secure and know that nothing bad's going to happen.
Fair. I understand that.
It's why I'm a person that will have to use heating during the winter, but only to a certain point. Like it won't need to be what it used to be on, which was it had to be in like 24 degrees. I had to be in the house most of the time, which sucked. Now I'm gonna make sure that it's only on like maybe like 18 or 19 degrees, just to try and save some power. You know.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Winter's coming, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, apart from when it kind of spikes around end of January sort of time.
Yeah.
You should be okay.
Should be fine in theory.
Yeah, just keep an eye on it.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to black mold. It's a thing. Beware of it.
Yeah.
But we're going to be picking up the toy line with a figure that you have owned, Big D, if I remember correctly. It is Strong Arm. Let's move it back into shot. Strong Arm figure. Has had a couple of repaints. Not a amazing toy, I would say. I know you said you liked it. I put this again in the kind of it's okay kind of category. Quite big and quite chunky. Very chunky.
I mean, I felt it represented the character in the show quite. My only real issue with it was the permanent blast effect on the gun.
That is weird. It looks more like a super soaker than an energy shot, which is weird.
And the weird thing is, I actually can't remember now which version I own, because I'm sure my one has the same deco as the Takara's Homie version, but I don't remember buying that version. I'm sure I bought for Western release.
I hope you got the Japanese one, because the Japanese one is her color scheme versus the American one, which Strong Arm's very much like Drift, if people remember us talking about the Drift figure, where the American one is really, really basic and the Japanese one is, that's the character. And it's the same here as well. Like, the fact that her head is, for the American release, is just blue is really lame. Really lame.
Yeah, it's frustrating, because it's like, you've gone there to put blue paint over white plastic.
Yeah.
And you couldn't just make it so that it was in the right pattern.
Like stencil it, right? Have a stencil, and then you just like blast it with an airbrush, and then it's done.
Was it really that hard to do?
I guess it saved money, but it's just like even the vehicle mode, like the fact that you have the white bumper of the car, and then it just kind of randomly goes to that little blue bit near the window screen, and then stops as it gets to the roof of the car again.
Yeah, it's just so. It feels half-assed. I mean, you look
Yeah.
at the Takara Tomy version, and it's night and day, but it's such a nicer look.
Yeah, and it does help the character a lot. It makes it
Yeah.
look like her. Now, it's still a little bit overly chunky, and if I remember, the shoulders are a little bit awkward just because of their size.
Yes, yeah, they're a bit awkward. They do tend to, the way her alt mode side panels fold up on her back, they
Yeah,
can
they
get in
stick
the
out.
way of the door. Yeah, they can get in the way of the shoulders if you try and when you're trying to pose, and because of how chunky they are. I mean, the thing is, it is flawed because there's a fair bit of hollowness. Like I say, the American version of the paint is frankly terrible.
Yep.
And it can be a bit unwieldy, but it gets silhouette for Strong Arm from the show.
Yeah, it looks like her, that's for sure. And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
this is better than the Sideswipe figure, which again, we talked about last time, and he's a lot more bizarrely awkward than this.
Yes.
Which is why I say Strong Arm is like she's okay. She's not great, but she's okay. She's not one that you'll be annoyed by having, but you'll be, if you have the American one, you'll just be disappointed. Unless you get the retro labels for her, which are numerous, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, they're very good labels from what I remember seeing of them, though.
There's just so many. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
And over time, they might, repro labels are great. In 20 years' time, are they going to be still sticking to the figure?
Yeah.
I don't know. There might be. The glue for the stickers might be really good, but, in 2045, are they that good? I don't know. I don't know.
You really don't have to be faffing about with it, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Again, like that's the thing. Repro labels are great. Will they last as long as paint? Probably not. Probably.
But for a price point, solid. And
no, yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with repro labels.
It's nice to have a female Transformer that's not in. They've not gone for the body type they tend to think of for female Transformers.
It's just a shame it's not a better figure.
Yes. I mean, I quite like the version we got in Legacy. Even
What
though
mold did they use for her?
They retooled the Alita 1.
Oh no, that was a terrible reuse because that was just a standard female figure.
No, but I liked how they managed to adjust it a bit. So,
do you not think it's disrespectful as well? Because it's like every female character only uses like the same body. You get two molds.
I do get annoyed at Hasbro for doing that. They come up with a female Transformer body type and then they run it into the ground. Yeah,
they seeker them most of the time. They just go, well, repaint, slightly different head, that'll do you. It's like, oh god, just do a different mold.
But I actually like the figure in terms of as a version of Strong Arm. It solves for shoulder issues. The way her shoulder works, I think, is a lot more elegant.
Yep.
It poses better. Other than my only religion, it's not broad enough. But that's a side effect of them using that particular mold for the figure.
Yeah, and it's got the back of it's a little bit rough as well, in vehicle mode.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like they forgot about the back.
Yeah,
when they got that far.
Are her feet sticking out of the back of a vehicle mode? What are those bits sticking out from the back?
I think those are the feet, but they have some detailing to look like they're thrusters of some sort.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it got integrated a little bit better in the Alita 1 and RC versions, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I was happy with both versions of Strong Arm, this one and the Warrior class version. Not perfect, but they did the job for the collection,
That's why I say it's okay. It's not great. It's okay. It did get redone into another version only for Japan, which is what's the name of this one? Grijiba.
Is it supposed to be Grijiba?
No, because there's
Oh yeah,
I don't know what the kanji would be.
Grijiba.
Grijiba, which is green Jeep, I guess. Maybe that's what they were going
Yeah.
for. So same figure. They've just changed the color scheme to an olive green, a dark green, and orange with a black and purple face. The head actually kind of looks a little bit Crasher-esque. If the face was more pinky rather than purpley, it could work as a substitute Crasher, kind of. But what do you think of the color scheme? Because I think it's reasonably interesting color scheme.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's a nice mix of greens. The orange is a nice spot tone, and it's got some nice distribution on that. And yeah, I actually do dig this repaint.
The only problem is it's a versus pack, and it came with the standard Grimlock figure. So if you already had the Grimlock and you wanted this, it's like, I'd prefer the weird repaint. Or maybe if you were a kid, you were like, I just want the Grimlock, not this person who was not in the show.
Yeah,
one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, the two modes do give you options. So like you said, the kid might want Grimlock, and you've got a Goober as a spare.
There's a lot of green in that pack, though, as well, right? Grimlock is a lot of green, and then him, that's really green as well.
It is.
I never like 2 packs where both figures are the same color. I always prefer it when they're like opposite on the color wheel. I think that's always quite nice visually because they clash, and they're meant to clash because they're enemies.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame she's not as vivid in he's not as vivid in hand as the box art makes it look.
Yeah,
that's some nice Toxitron colors going on there. That makes more of a pop against Grimm's.
I didn't even notice that. Yes, both the artwork and the image of the car mode on the box, which is a real photo of the car, is a lot brighter as well, and yet the actual figure is a lot darker.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah. I wonder if the car alt mode photo on the front of the box was a digital retweak of the figure, or if that was what the figure was going to be like, and then they tweaked it later on down the production line.
I mean, the placement of the colors is on the alt mode is basically the American toy in essence. So if you told me that was just them, someone did a digibash, and that's what they showed off on the box art, I would believe you.
Yeah, same. It's weird though. XL Hedge says, I'd argue the shoulders are worse because the shoulder pads are constantly in the way. There is that. That is an issue. And if I remember, like her, isn't like her shoulder joint next to the wheel, so it kind of swings rather than the shoulder, like the way that the shoulder would swing would be closer to the torso, if you know what I mean. You've got the gray bit where the bicep is the bit that swings for the arm rather than the actual shoulder itself.
Yeah, it can be a bit awkward at times, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's a weird thing. I think that's to accommodate the wheel position, I'm guessing. XL Hedge also says they repainted Strong Arm into Strong Arm into a Ruination member, lol.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Bit of that going on, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. It's not entirely untrue. The figure did get redone once more, right near the end of the line, into Ratchet, who got an American and Japanese release, and unsurprisingly, the difference between them is, again, kind of night and day. An interesting redo. It's not just the head's been changed, the chest has been changed, and the back of the truck has been changed as well. So that it's the same transformation, but enough has been changed here to make it different.
Yeah,
much it looks more pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the alt mode is a bit. That just needs a bit more on the back portion to make it more ambulance-like. To be fair, then you'd be golden.
It's a white truck. That's what it is.
Roof on the back, and but the rower mode is. I mean, that's actually a pretty decent Ratchet.
And for considering this is meant to be Transformers Prime Ratchet, you look at it and you go, "Oh, I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah, I mean, that's a really nice-looking head sculpt, yeah.
And I say that specifically because there's definitely some characters in, well, one of the last ones we'll be talking about, Soundwave, who you look at and you're like, no, that's not the Prime figure. It's not. Why would, no. This one works. Bumblebee works as well, and Prime works as well. But this is
Yeah.
another good example. Japan, they still didn't make it into an ambulance, unfortunately.
I mean, honestly, I don't know which of these two I prefer more because, honestly, Ratchet, the US version, not having the chest just be a bit cleaner without any of the extra. I actually think I prefer it without the extra paint that's on the Takara version.
Okay.
To be honest, because it just feels less cluttered. It feels more like Ratchet.
It doesn't help that one
mean?
is the CG render for the American one, and the other one, what they say is the Japanese one is just the standard one, which is a bit weird. But they seem like they might be close enough where it's not a big deal, but again, it's hard to tell. I like the fact that the Ratchet comes with two like pistol-y, shock pad looking kind of guns, so they're much better guns than what Strong Arm came with as well.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, decent redo though. Nice retool.
Absolutely.
But lacking in places as well, clearly, as we mentioned, which is a bit of a shame. You can tell his legs are incredibly hollow, which is, again, a bit of a bummer, but what can you do?
Yeah.
Anything else to say on this mold?
No, just nice but flawed.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Not a mold I think you should be sad about having in your collection. Just measure your expectations accordingly.
Yeah, don't spend a lot on it. There are some that I'd say, yeah, you could fork out a little bit of cash and it's fine. That's okay. Not this one. I don't have a Ratchet and wouldn't mind a Ratchet, but he came much later in the line, and I'm not willing
just
to
a
pay
single
high
wave
price.
as well. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Next up, I think is one of my favorite molds in the wave or the series. It's the Megatronus mold. And there were two iterations of this mold. There was the Megatronus that had the face mask, and then there was the Megatronus that had the normal face with the face mask kind of lifted up. But essentially, they're the same figure. It's just a slight variation on the head. And from what it says here, it's just, I think it's a difference of one came out in 2015 and the other came out a year later. And that was it. For some reason, they had a. It's like sometimes we've had like Optimus Prime with mask, without mask kind of deal.
Yeah.
He turns into a standard H tank, which is the style that a lot of tanks go with for some reason. I guess H tanks are just easier to design robots around than anything else.
Yeah, and they just tend to look a bit more alien-y sci-fi.
Yeah,
to be
future.
Fair, so.
Yeah, because we don't have them in our time, so yeah, makes sense. I really like this mold. I really like how the legs transform. That's one of my favorite bits about the figure. As the knee pads kind of, you grab them and you pull them up the thigh to kind of extend the tank tread. Which I think is quite fun. And obviously, like, the tank treads are the lower part of his body. The top part of the body is a little bit on the boring side, where you just kind of fold the shoulders backwards, and the kind of the cannon forms from the arms.
And they just kind of go to get,
Yeah, I wish it's an issue that the head doesn't really hide better as well. That's a bit of a shame. But if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do, the turret rotates 180 degrees because it's just his waist joint.
Which is always nice.
Yeah. The big downside, well, it's not even a downside, but the thing that's not great is his weapon, which is a spear, which pegs onto his forearm like Megatron, which doesn't really look like anything, or he can hold it, which is it's okay as a weapon, but it's not great. But it's a really fun, fairly, again, for the line, fairly posable little toy, and it's a good look. Is it a good quote unquote Megatronus as we know Megatronus today? Not really, but as a stylized kind of Megatron looking tank dude in that kind of Megatron color scheme, I think it's good. I like it.
I mean, for RID's interpretation of things, I think this fits real nicely. I mean, for the warrior class as well, I think this is almost elegant in its simplicity. Yes, there's stuff. Yep, the head just being pushed forward. Yeah, that's always going to be an issue with transformations that work like this one does.
Yeah.
But just forming the cannon by pushing the shoulders back and joining the arms together, it's the sort of transformation that we don't really see a great deal of
No,
for
and
tanks.
it
And
just
it,
makes sense. It's reasonably simple, and you go, oh,
yeah,
yeah. And it looks like a decent barrel of a gun as well.
yeah, and you like you said, you get the turret swivel because it's for waist.
Mhm.
The way the legs then form the tracks. Again, is it perfect? No, but I like what I see here.
Have you had this
I,
mold?
I haven't. I must admit, we're getting to the phase. Strong Arm was really the one RID figure I wanted to pick up, just because I dug her character. I thought she was fun and was a nifty addition to things.
Okay.
So I just wanted a version of her, and locally distribution for figures was kind of shit.
What a shock.
Yeah. So a lot of these I just never really saw on the shelves, frankly.
What do you think
always a
is a
frustration.
bizarre design choice here for this figure? You might not be able to tell, but if you look at the 2016 figure with the normal face, you might be able to tell looking at it. But if you don't worry about it. I can tell you what it is, because it's a weird choice, and you'd be like, when I tell you why would you do that, and I'd be like, I don't know. What do you think it might be? It's to do with the arms.
Is it the stripe they painted on there?
No, what it is the elbow joints are ratcheted.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no reason for them to be ratcheted, as far as I can tell.
Because there's no flex in the barrel, is there, of the turret?
No, the turret doesn't move.
And even if you wanted the gun to pivot, you'd want it kind of back in the shoulder area, not where the forearms are.
Yeah, exactly.
How odd. That's such a... Especially on a warrior class as well.
Yeah, I don't think
elbows.
It's not like the Voyager ratchets either. You know, where you have like the dedicated spring and all that kind of stuff to make the ratchet work. It's just for some reason the plastic has on the inside of the elbow joint ridges, and clearly something on for the forearm that allows it to click.
It's just got a molded friction ratchet in there.
Yeah,
that's really fascinating. That
I don't know why they choose to do that. It's odd. But it's there, and you can't. And like I say, in this image, you can just see like the top of the ratchet in there, and you're like, why would you do that? And it's like, I don't know, just did, innit? Shrug. It's odd.
How weird.
It's bizarre. XL Hedge says, still would like to see what RC would have looked like, I guess, for this show. Just to complete the base Team Prime in RID style. That would have been nice. I would have liked to have seen that as well. But then again, this show did a lot of things where I was like, man, there were things that you should have done and things that you shouldn't have done, and you did a lot of things that you shouldn't have done.
I think there might have been an issue of the comic for RID that had...
Oh, God, yeah, they had a comic for this, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm sure there was an issue I saw the cover for, and it had all of Team Prime and Team B kind of on the same... Because it was a team-up issue, I think.
Okay.
So, right. But I don't think they did much to RC's design for it, to be fair. They kept
maybe they kept it simple because it was a comic, and they were like, well, don't want to tread on any toes just in case, probably. XL Hedge also says, so disappointed Megatronus wasn't a recurring villain throughout the show. Yeah, he was like the end of season 1 bad guy who they beat very easily. But luckily, the toy was. I think the toy was good. He's the Fallen. He should have been a bigger threat than he was. Yeah, 100%. But again, the writing for Transformers RID was kind of dog shit, unfortunately.
Yeah. But because this was we'd had the titanium version of the Fallen, hadn't we?
Oh,
but this was and we'd had the movie version of it.
yeah.
But this was the first time he was called Megatronus. If I remember.
Yes, because wasn't this the time period where they were trying to unite?
This was the time of the Aligned continuity.
That's it. Yeah, what a bad idea that was, which they then moved away from, thankfully. Yeah, but yeah, the first time this might be the first Megatronus figure, I suppose.
That was called Megatronus because I'm sure the name came from the Covenant of Primus book, but this is the first time we'd actually had a a figure that was called Megatronus and not the Fallen.
I think you're right there. Yeah.
So that's
Axel
kind of
Hedge also says his big plan: combine Primus and Unicron spark together and blow up both planets. How is that supposed to work? Woo woo. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's magic. It doesn't need to make sense. Oh, I forgot. I didn't look at the Takara one. The Takara one is okay. They've just used metallic-y metals rather than the flat plastic. It is nicer looking and it has a little bit more extra detail on it, but it's not that much of an improvement. I would say. Would you agree?
It's one of those ones where if it's available for not much difference in price from the standard version, sure, but
you don't need it. I would say personally.
Yeah.
However, this mold was made better. I would say substantially better. When they made, we're doing this one first because this is the less good version. They did Blast Wave. Blast Wave, who came with slightly retooled stuff, so is quite a bit actually. His legs weren't retooled, but his knees were. His waist was retooled. His forearms were retooled. His shoulders were retooled. His chest was retooled. The way that his transformation worked was a little bit retooled as well. So instead of the arms going backwards to form the cannon, the arms just kind of went backwards to form the back of the turret. And he had a double-barreled gun, which pegged into some part of his head or a certain part of the turret to form a double-barreled gun. And then he also came with a ninja sword or a samurai sword as well. Because yes, this was repainted into bludgeon as well, which we'll talk about in a moment. But this version was the same color legs as Megatronus, but then was in green and blue and had the new head as well. I like this figure quite a lot. This is obviously the better version of the mold. The bludgeon is the best, but again, we'll get to that. He has ratchets in his shoulders this time, so the actual treads, I think, click up and down a little bit, but not massively. Only the shoulder pads. I don't think the arms are ratcheted, though. And I can't remember offhand if the elbows are ratcheted on him or not. I don't think they are. One issue was that I can't remember if it's on my bludgeon or if it's on my blast wave. If you grab the chest, it folds down for the transformation, right? So that's where you'd flip the head down and you fold the arms backwards. The way that connects to the torso, it's fairly loose, so you can knock it out of position a little bit. It's not. It's just on one of the figures, not both of them. Otherwise, it's the same transformation. I think this was a neat way to kind of change up how the tank mode transformed. I think it was a really good retool, a quite substantial retool as well for this line.
Yeah, I have to say, this is actually one of the RD molds I always kind of regretted not picking up.
Yeah.
Because, well, one, the bludgeon version was actually one of the... It looked more like bludgeon than a lot of other figures had at that point, at a lower price point.
Oh, yeah.
But this one, it was just unexpected, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It was fun that they did this in the ROD line. You'd have legacy characters, then they'd also they'd throw out a few curveballs to make you go, oh, okay.
Should they have done the simple thing and made him Banzaitron? Because for people that don't know, for some reason, Blastwave, this slight repaint of just Bludgeon, who has an evil skeleton face, yes, as an Autobot. He still has the evil skeleton face, which is odd. Might have been better to just turn him into Banzaitron.
Yeah, that does feel like it might have been a better option, but they did like to flood this line with more Autobots than anything else, didn't they?
Yes, which is odd. But
I said they like to flood this line, like they haven't done that with multiple lines over the years.
But the Bludgeon one as well, it's the same figure, obviously, but in Bludgeon's color schemes. I think the orange is a little bit oranger in person than it is here. It looks a bit washed out in these photos, but yeah, this is super fun. This is a very fun little mold. He could do with wrist joints. It would be nice if he had wrist joints for, obviously, his wrist, because he's wielding a sword. They don't really give him extra articulation or extra bits with this remold. He is still the Fallen in terms of articulation, but this is one of my favorite molds. I think the redesign, because this was the first Bludgeon we had since, I think, Revenge of the Fallen, that Bludgeon figure.
Yeah, and and this is for because that one I have a lot of time for,
Yeah.
and it is a nice figure. I've got the head robots upgrade for it. It looks great on the shelf still.
Yep.
But this was the first time we had a bludgeon that was kind of the complete package.
Yes.
But you could just buy it and put it on your display and say, that's bludgeon. That looks like bludgeon.
Yeah, obviously it didn't work with the Chug line. You couldn't put it on the Chug shelf and be like, yes, it works. But you can put it on the Prime shelf and be like, yeah, it works. Yeah. Close enough.
It's got everything. It's got all the notes. It's got the samurai aesthetic. It's got the cannons that they added in the IDW line to his shell to make it stand out.
He turns into a tank like his inner robot. He also has the green of his inner robot as well. So there's lots of bits.
It's got all the right notes coming together.
Yes, and the sword, not bendy plastic. They
painted the blade, which is so rare.
Yes, that's something to say about the Revenge of the Fallen one. The blade was bendy, and if I remember, when you put it into the turret, because the base was the turret, the cannon part, it would bend for some reason.
Yes, there was a tendency for the hilt part to eventually bend as well, so it would never be centered.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, because when you were forcing it into his hand, it was usually bending, and then it had the. Didn't some people get like marks from where Bludgeon was holding it just because it was a tight grip? Or am I misremembering?
I think they might have done. Yeah.
Again, thankfully for both you and I, the robot head upgrade also came with a sword for him as well. So which was a lot better.
I mean, honestly, that kit. I mean, the head sculpts they gave you a choice from were great, but just the sword on its own is just so much to improve the figure. Just because it's just for being a sturdier plastic
and chromed as well. The fear was always, would it chip over time? Because obviously a fully chromed sword, a little bit sad if it's chipped, but a lot nicer than the standard figures thing at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Exelhead says, I've already read that, my bad. Do you have anything else to say about the Bludgeon Blast Wave mold?
Just that it's one that I wish I'd been able to pick up when it first came out.
I think you could probably pick this mold up. You might even be able to get Blast Wave. Bludgeon might be a bit harder because it's Bludgeon.
Yeah. I might do it at some point. There's a couple of little ones I'm going to talk about that I've been meaning to pick up, so it might be a good opportunity to at some point to do have a bit of a peruse on the old eBay, see what comes up.
If you can, I think most of these figures, if you can get them for about £10 to £15, that's like the sweet spot for them. Like 20, I think you'd feel a bit like a bit gypped by getting it for that much. 10, you'll be like, oh, these are great for £10. 15, you're like, this is fair. I feel, and I think those are fair prices for these figures, based on their quality, not on their rarity or their age or anything. Not like that.
But that sounds about right. To be fair,
So if you can get them for that would be good. Next up is one that I didn't think when I originally started picking up these figures that I would like, and it's Thunderhoof, the tractor. So Thunderfoot is interesting because he's worth owning for the novelty of the only tractor transformer, at least that I can think of.
Was he the one who was also a bit of an opera singer?
No, he was the one that was like Steven Seagal.
Oh yeah.
That's the way he talked. He was like that guy. He was like a gangster kind of guy. I don't remember the characters too well, but I remember him specifically. Now, an issue with his tractor mode is his head is just looking downwards because it's got the rake on the front. Granted, I don't know a tractor that has the rake on the front. The rake's always gone the back for kind of tilling the field and whatnot. They don't ever go on the front. That's weird.
It's an odd look, I will admit.
But that's okay because it's still a cool looking figure, even if it's not correct in its work, like the way it would work in the real world. That's fine. That's okay.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually one of the taller figures. I'm not sure if you can tell by just looking at how long his legs are, but he is quite tall compared to some of the other
I
deluxes.
was thinking he looks a little on the lanky side.
Yeah, and I think it's
Compared
just
to
mainly
others.
because of how they tried to do his little feety, his little moose feet or antler feet, because he's meant to be an animal, quote unquote, like Steeljaw, but he's not nearly as aggressively animal as some of the RID designs. So I think he works a little bit better in a lot of ways. His shoulders get away a little bit just because of the way the wheels are there. But again, this is a fairly fun figure and unique. And once again, yes, Japan did him
Novelty.
better in some ways. In some ways,
Ooh.
Japan did him better. In some ways, they didn't. And the reason I said in some ways they didn't is because they have used metallic blues. But they've used two different metallic blues. So he is standard light blue for non-plastic. He is a turquoise metallic blue.
Yeah,
Shall we say?
that's what I'd have said. Yeah.
And those are on the front of his shin, thighs, and then around his chest. And then he has metallic blue for his, like a darker metallic blue for his antlers. So he's a little bit inconsistent in his colors. There's like 3 variations of blue, and it does break up the blue. But I think there's a little bit too much there, you know?
Yeah, it's a case where I think they may have been better off keeping the antlers in the same glossy black as the head casing they've gone for.
I agree. I think that I don't remember what way they were colored in the show, but regardless of how they were colored in the show, I think you're right. The black makes it like tie together a little bit more. But in tractor mode, the bits on the side of the tractor for the door and that was just flat colored black for some reason in the American version. Looked really weird. At least here it looks like it's a cohesive thing, so it's part of the tractor.
Yeah.
So that's better. Some weird. That's the okay. You can see in the Japanese photo, you can see how the shoulders are kind of weird, where the wheels are attached to the body, and then the shoulder for the arm is attached to the underside of the wheel. Well, not the wheel, but the
frame the wheel is attached to. Yeah. That's really interesting how they've done that though.
From what I remember, it still works fine. It's just a little bit weird again.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't dislike it because I like seeing things like this where they come up with interesting engineering solutions.
And sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Like the Sideswipe obviously is one where I don't think it did work. And I wouldn't say this is one where it worked, but it's not a failure either. It's just one of those ones where you go, I think there was a better way to do it, but this isn't awful as well. You know, it's not a hindrance to the figure in a huge way.
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, I think this is a fun figure. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the American one or do you prefer the Japanese one?
Ooh, tough one.
It is difficult.
Yeah, I think I'll go for the Japanese one just because I find the colours more interesting. But the American one is still quite one. If I had that one, I think I'd be quite happy with it.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
But if I had the choice, I'd grab the Takara one. But I think they both look perfectly fine though for what they are. They look
And again, the novelty of a tractor, right?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the failings of Transformers. I think the unwillingness to try kind of weird vehicles is a problem. Like, think of all of the cool like fighter jets that you could get with Micro Machines military, and how few jets that we do get.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're only barely into. I don't think if you counted up the different aircraft that Transformers have transformed into, just planes over 4 decades now, you would barely be breaking 20, I reckon.
Yeah.
The sad thing is I could probably name a lot of them because I used to be a fighter jet. I used to be a real military aircraft nerd.
Right.
But it is one of the jokes. You have Autobots transform and roll out. We're in disguise. Why are you a Lancia Stratos? Why are you an F1 race car? Jazz, why have you got that particular branding?
Yeah. And we're not saying you have to be like the shitty 3-wheeled card from Mr. Bean that gets tipped over.
No.
But you can choose some kind of more interesting, unique vehicles. That's why when Wreck-Ar was made into a dump truck, everyone was like, "Oh, that's a really fun, interesting idea." It's like, "Oh, we haven't had a dump truck before."
Fits for character, and it's novel just because it's different.
Yeah,
but execution worked really well, and you just think, well, that kind of proves that you don't have to go for the sexy or the hardcore military stuff. You can pick out the odd. Actually, lean into the gimmick a bit more, guys. Let's have them turn into, because there's some fun industrial gear out there, farm wise and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. Like a combine harvester would be a really fun transformer to have.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, ironically, as much as they were flawed, the Revenge of the Fallen Constructicons are probably the most interesting for how far they pushed that side of things.
Yes,
because they picked some real weird machines in there.
Yeah,
really,
agreed. Yeah.
Real interesting ones that really don't work as toys, but but they went for really interesting real life machines.
And let's be fair, the concept of them being in disguise is never really a big thing through most of Transformers stories.
Yeah, when a giant steam excavator suddenly rolls past that's the size of a small housing estate, you just go, what are he off to? Next.
Or a train, like a shuttle flies down from orbit and then turns into a train that drives on no tracks. You know, it's like, we don't need to worry about it. It's not that important to be quote unquote in disguise, really.
Yeah.
Thunderfoot, Thunderhoof, good figure, wasn't redone into anything, was just repainted for Japan. Normal figure here. Now we have in my opinion, the best Windblade figure. Windblade.
Oh,
the only issue is badly colored. Let down by the color scheme. Massively let down by the color scheme. I mean, if you jump from the American one to the Japanese one is, oh yeah, that's the figure. Yep, that's Windblade.
Yeah,
got all the paint she needs in all the places. One's
just like,
yeah, she like the head being pretty much completely unpainted, so she doesn't have like, she has a mostly red head. Like most of Windblade is completely red for this, and it's a real shame. Because honestly, I think this is my favorite Windblade. I think it's way better than the first Windblade figure that we got.
Interesting.
It's much better than the Titans Return one as well, which was an interesting one, but very bulky and big. What was the Windblade that came after that one?
There was
after Titans Return.
Oh, they did one for Siege, didn't they? Did they? No, I'm sure they've done another Windblade since then. Hang on.
That's a great question.
Hang on. We're on the page for Windblade. Let's scroll down and see.
See, I'm on the page for RID Windblade. So it goes, aha, well, too bad, because there's a separate page for Windblade as well. It's like, well, that's not useful.
Let me check. Windblade. So Cyberverse Windblade. G1 Windblade. Oh, yeah. I know I've bought a Windblade more.
I want to say there's been a more recent Windblade as well.
Generations, Legends, Target Man, Combine Wars, Titans Return, Legacies, Cyberverse Universe Windblade. Geolux 2024. That's the one. Yeah, there we go. Hang on, I'll just send you a picture across in the region. No, not that one.
It fights you.
It does, for technology.
Oh, okay. Let me turn off the thingy there and then click on the thingy linky that you sent me. Oh, yeah, it's this one. Of course it is.
Yeah.
God, I'm fucking stupid. Yeah, it's this one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That one's okay. It's got the weird face still, though. Doesn't look quite right.
They've struggled with Windblade's face weirdly ever since they released it as a toy, bizarrely enough.
I'd say the face here is pretty accurate, especially for the RID version of it. I think they got it down, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's very simple. It's not, obviously it's a RID toy. It's not doing anything crazy. The arms do absolutely no transforming at all. No. You can, in jet mode, you can see the hands just sticking out the back. If you grab the entire like lower shin, they do the thing where they come off from the back of the shin and fold upwards together. It's that kind of part of the transformation.
Yeah.
And I think the nose cone just kind of hangs off the back. But this is my favorite. And it's because it's a simple transformation. Yeah. It's stylish. It's reasonably posable. She's got her Energon sword, which has never changed. She's got the scabbard for it as well. And she's got the turbines as well that can move up and down as well. There was another version near the end of the RID line where they didn't really do much. They changed the color scheme a little bit and then gave her a battle mask as well. For whatever reason. I'm sure there was I don't know if there was a reason. I preferred the standard version of Windblade, though. And as I say, the Japanese one is my preferred version. But I don't think I have that one. I think I have the American one because it was easier to get and cheaper, as you were.
Oh, they did a Titan Force repaint of her as well.
That's right. It was the blue version, blue and gray. Yeah. Which was okay. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't have it listed here on the RID Windblade page, but they don't. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, for some reason she's it's because she was a Generations Titans Return release, I think.
Yeah, this was the 3-pack that came with the RC with in black and pink with the big sword.
I thought that pack came with the original release of Windblade in it, not this one. Huh.
Oh no! Wait. Where this one says it's an exclusive to the Hasbro toy store. Who did it come with then? She was available in the gift set together with Titans Force redecos of it was Sentinel Prime and Brainstorm. Oh, that's what it was.
It's that set. Yeah.
The Brainstorm, which was really crap because it was just a very slightly different color, and then you had was it translucent orange?
Yeah.
But
they decided that they wanted to make Sentinel an even brighter orange, so they made him translucent.
Which was a terrible idea. So I would say the only decent figure, like repaint, was this one. And there was a lot of grey, maybe a little bit too much grey on this figure. I think more blue would have been a bit nice. Especially like, I don't understand why they decided to paint the cockpit. They've got the red outline for the cockpit windows, but
they
then
haven't
the windows
painted
are grey.
The cockpit itself. Yeah, that's weird.
That's a choice, and I don't know why you'd make that choice. It's an odd one.
I do like what they've done with the circular spot on her chest with
Yes, they got rid of the stupid scan thing and put in a proper symbol, but it's actually added to the design.
Yeah, they've given her a little artistic flourish there. That's cute.
It's nice. I mean, it's trying to do something with the gigantic molded indent in her boob. But at least it's something nice and interesting at the very least.
And the turbine blades are actually, I don't know, are they painted or is that molded? Yeah, they're painted on, I think.
No, well, they're molded, but then they're painted like bright silver.
Yeah, that's nice. I do dig that. Yeah. So it's another one that's interesting,
Yeah.
It's actually weird because this and Cyberverse are the only version of Windblade or the only examples of like a deluxe scale Windblade I haven't picked up, which is odd.
What's the Cyberverse one? Oh, the Legacy one, you mean?
No, I have the legs. Oh, that's right. They didn't actually do a toy version in Cyberverse.
Why would they? Why would they?
She was only in the main title spread for.
That's really like most of the show. Well,
the main focus of the first season.
Yeah, she was like the secondary character or the main character. Nah, well, you've got the RID figure. It's good enough. Fuck off. Who cares?
Yeah. I did like the Takara version of the Titans Return Windblade just because they used the scabbard and sword from this version with that one. So rather than combining weird blades that the American release had, they gave her an actual sword,
That's
which
right.
still fit, but it still fit into the alt mode, which was quite nice.
That's right. Yeah. Looked a bit weird, but it was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. I've got the Takara release of that one because it's like,
Yeah.
well, it was the era where you just get the Japanese release, the Legends version. That was the era you just did that. So I was like, oh, well, fine. I haven't had that mold yet, so. But yeah, this Windblade, it good. Shame it requires again a fuck ton of stickers from repro labels to make it correct. Or I guess you could paint it yourself because it's a lot of black that's missing primarily. If you're brave, which I'm not. But there you go. We got one that I've always wanted to get, but haven't got because he's not the easiest to find. So I don't know how good he is, and it's Bisque.
Yeah,
Bisque, the crab man, who turns into a fairly neat looking car. He's got one of the interesting weird face designs and then claws. He looks like the clamp guy a little bit from Futurama. Yeah.
Give him the clamps.
Give him the clamps. So I don't know how good this figure is, but I do think he looks interesting as he's got very long, big arms and quite short, stubby legs.
Yeah, he looks fun.
Yeah.
And that is criteria number one.
It looks like he's got decent-ish articulation for like his claws because you can see like it's got an inner wrist joint. Wrist?
Yeah.
Is that what you'd call it for the claw? I don't know.
Yeah, I think because of how the transformation works,
I think that's
yeah, because I think the way it folds up to form the alt mode.
Maybe
that's why he's got that horizontal hinge on at what would basically be the wrist. So it gives you the option for a little bit more articulation there. But it's not an intentional articulation, but it's there because of the transformation.
Maybe, I'm not sure, because obviously, like the top of the claw is the front of the car, or at least the side of the front of the car, and then the bottom of the claw is the underside of the door rim. I'm guessing. So but that either way, it looks kind of neat. It looks fun. It looks
absolutely.
He does come with two guns, which is like, how's he hold them? He just got slots in the top of his claw, so you just put them in the top there. It's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah.
He's nice and bright and orange, and you don't usually get a lot of bright orange transformers either. And then they recolored him in blue and gave him a new head and made him into Thermidor, who, if I remember, had a pirate accent, I think. Because why not? Either way, the same character, just what if blue? So a little less interesting. I think, again, I remember seeing both of these guys going for more money than I was willing to buy them for, unfortunately. And I was like, that's a shame.
Yeah, I think Bisque and Thermidor they were kind of like the breakout cult characters of RID, just because they're weird crab dudes who turn into cars.
Yeah, and they like, my disdain for some of the RID design choices are ones like Overbite. Do you remember Overbite, the weird like dog dude thing who turned into nothing?
Yep.
Like he's shit. He's not very good. But then you got interesting ones that actually do transform like this.
I mean, these guys look like they should be in Batman the Animated Series.
It'd be a fun little team.
Their alt mode looks like it should have either Batman driving it or one of his villains.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like these two could work for the Penguin. Sea penguins. It works.
Yeah,
close enough. That's as much as you need. So I can't say like if there are any issues with the mold, obviously, because I don't have it. At the very least, they look interesting. It doesn't look like he's got waist articulation just because of how his chest kind of transforms, and it looks like his entire torso area might be on the hollow side.
I'm just looking at the Takara version because there's a better picture of it's angled on the side so you can see better. That looks. I mean, basically, the roof forms the back. Of the robot, and there's not really anything filling the gap in between them. So
it's a little easier to see on the Thermidor image. You can see that there's the back of the roof, and then there's like a hole, and the chest doesn't really cover it. There's quite a lot of like hole in there. It's not again awful, but it's like okay, so he's
yeah. But
One of those
again,
things.
this has enough fun factor, I think, to forgive a multitude of sins. So,
And like Thunderhoof, it's got a very unique look to it. Because there aren't many like claw there aren't many claw transformers that aren't Scorponok, effectively.
yeah.
Because I was going to say there are many claws, and then I was like, well, Scorponoks, lots of Scorponoks have claws. Where it's like, well, they're all bugs.
Yeah.
Not bugs.
I mean,
Scorpion isn't a bug, is it?
This is the sort of character that if he'd been more readily available, I'd have quite happily picked up all the cons in this line if they were all kind of this sort of style. And like Steeljaw, this sort of fun factor to them,
Yeah.
Just
XL's thing mentioned something which is really fucking obvious to me now, and it'll be really obvious to you as well. XL Head says, I hate that he has the Prime Viacon car mode.
Yeah, he does.
He does. I didn't see it. It is, it's that. It's not, it's not 100%, but you're like, no, that's close enough.
You can't really unsee that, can you?
No.
You've spotted it.
No. It's super there. It also says, oh no, the gamer Decepticon, up, down, down, left, right, claw. I'd like to get this in the future. Maybe if I have for a good price. I assume I probably won't.
Now I kind of want to have a bunch of Viacons and then put him and Thermidor in amongst them, just as random. Just take a picture of a random bunch of Viacons with these two slotted in there to see if anyone goes, what are they doing in there?
They would be great goober fodder, like Run Amok and Runabout.
Oh God, yeah.
These would be the goober like leaders of the Viacons.
Give me this in multiple colors, please.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Lots of crabs, more crabs.
Yeah,
just like in Warhammer, we just need a crab pack.
Well, I mean, they do keep releasing Deepkin kits with crabs attached to them. It's just it means you have to buy a bunch of elves to go with it.
Yeah, no one wants the elves. They just want the crabs. More fish, starfish.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, no one wants the angsty Castos of Teclis's misadventures.
No, they just want the silly sea creatures. Give us like starfish and give us SpongeBob, but under like Warhammer conditions. That's what people want. I guarantee you that would sell. I guarantee you people would go for that.
I mean, yeah, people did go nuts for that octopus with a knife.
It was cool.
Just like yeah. Yeah, very cool.
Do a sea monkey, an actual monkey that just has fins and stuff, and give that a knife. That'll do. Next up, we have another figure which I really like, and it's the Starscream mold. Once again, there's minor differences between it and the Japanese version. Not a lot. I guess the best way to describe it is the Japanese version looks like it's more silvery, while the American one looks like it's more bluey silver. Is probably the better way to describe it. This one, again, is a lot of fun. It's got like in-hand swoosh feel, a lot of good swoosh feel to it because of the way the jet mode looks. Because all of the jet is in the back of the figure, and then the nose code's really, really long. It's
a really nice jet mode.
Yeah.
I do like that. Even with how the shoulder pads basically stick out underneath the fuselage. It just because it follows the lines of the wings. I kind of dig it. And with the squared off guns, there's some. It's either a Battlestar or a Star Fox vibe I'm getting off it. It just looks cool. Yeah,
I can see where you're coming from with the Battlestar Galactica shuttle starfighter vibe. Definitely that. Yeah. It's again, it's a little bit heavy on the underside carriage, as you can see, but it's about as much undercarriage as you get from today's Transformers. So it's not that small, really,
I mean, we've seen a lot worse.
No. And the neat thing that the wings do is they don't stick out on the back. They almost form like a small cape on the back, which again is a nice look. It's not a great follow-up to Prime Starscream, as it's clearly more G1 inspired.
Yeah.
And although you said you like the squared off null rays, I agree. I think they look okay. I think they look a little bit small in robot mode.
Yeah,
because they're just mainly on the forearms, so they look more like pistols than like what you'd hope for Starscream, which are like
they do. That is a tad unfortunate.
It's not awful, but it's like
if if the post is a bit further back that they used to stick into the forearms, it might help it give it a little bit more length. But no,
I think
do
they
see
get
where you're
lost
coming.
in the shoulder if you did that, though. Do you not think?
Well, no, I mean if the post on the gun
Oh,
was
the gun. Sorry, I thought you meant
yeah,
the actual
sorry,
hole that you put them in.
that's
That's
me
my
not
bad.
being very clear.
Okay.
But if the post on the gun was a little further back, I think
Oh.
that might help. That might help how they look on the forearms.
Yeah, because it
But
would like stick them out a little bit further than the
Mm.
wrist or the knuckles, right? So it looked like it was
Yeah.
hanging over them a bit more. Yeah, I could see that.
But it wouldn't look as good as how, because I think it actually does look good in hand, those guns. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those design decisions that was probably very heavily argued over because of how they wanted it to look. So, but no,
Yeah.
I can understand where you're coming from, though. But
Do you think the decision was to make it similar to the Prime design? Because the first edition Prime Starscream had the missiles on his forearms as well, if I remember.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
true.
that didn't really transition over to the show, but I'm guessing that was maybe the idea here.
Maybe.
But again, you can kind of like if you look at the Starscream figure and the jet mode, you can probably figure out how this works. The shins kind of detach from the shins and then move up to the chest. The arms, the red bits around his boob, those bits like detach and shove downwards, and then the nose cone on the back just kind of flips up. It's a nice, very quick, very simple. Everything tabs together. You can even see the tabs for the wings pegging into the legs to hold them there, which is quite nice. But like I say, it's got a good swish to it just because of the shape of it.
Absolutely, and I dig it. I just dig it. It works as Starscream.
Yeah, and again, I'm pretty sure, not 100%, pretty sure he's got a waist joint. It looks like he's got a waist joint, but
yeah, it looks like can't be 100%.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've had him out of the box.
Actually, he might not, because I think I can see a hinge pin in the back of the waist.
It's there for something, but I can't remember if that hinders the waist or not. It might.
Yeah, it does.
That's why I'm kind of iffy on it. You know.
I mean, it looks like there should be a waist swivel, but I can understand why there isn't.
Maybe there might not be, or there might be. Now, obviously, he was done into Skywarp because, I mean, of course he was, but he was not done into Thundercracker.
That's a shame.
And it's bizarre. It's weird. I don't have the Skywarp again. Skywarp got expensive, it seems, online. And the only Skywarps I could find didn't have the guns. And I was like, well, I'm not getting it if it doesn't have its fucking guns. And again, this is one that I'd like to get because very swooshy and in the very, very cool jet mode. Oh, and this image shows that you can kind of flay the wings out, or you can have them tight like a cape, or flash them out to be a bit more G1-ish.
You know, it's nice. It's nice that there's options like that in the articulation to get that sort of variety in the display.
Yeah, it's not even anything crazy. It's just a little bit of flair, I suppose.
Yeah. It just works.
What do you think of the shoulders? The shoulder design on this figure effectively being the shoulders from King Starscream from G1.
You know what? I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
Because that's cute.
Yeah.
For Screamer, especially as it's supposed to be him post Prime. It's a fun little thing because that's very Screamer that he'd kind of try and reinvent himself with and get that flair going on.
Yeah, it's a nice reference, and it's a subtle one as well.
Yeah,
it's not beating you over the head with it. It's not colored like the actual movies one, which is like purple and yellow. It's just it's part of the color scheme, and if you notice it, you notice it.
They haven't given him the crown either. No. They've just done this one very subtle tribute that helps the silhouette stand out from, because it is basically, like you say, it's not Prime Starscream's design. It's clearly a riff on G1 Starscream's design, but giving it the shoulder pads as an integral part of it helps it stand out from being just a straight one-to-one riff.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're taking G1 Starscream, but we're taking this extra bit that never really got integrated into the design very well, and we're making it a part of it and a feature of how it transforms and comes together as the alt mode. And I think it works really well because it does give it bulks out the shoulder silhouette and helps with how the wings. It helps the illusion of the wings are part of a cape that's attached to them.
Yeah,
So,
it gives the classic like triangle pose that like heroic male characters usually have, like where it's big in the chest and then it goes really slim down to the waist.
yeah.
Manages to do quite nicely here.
Hmm.
Excel Hedge says, you cannot tell me Starscream's Prime design was an upgrade from this that he chose to go back to. Is that what it was meant to be in the show? I don't know. I can't remember. Again, I don't remember the show.
This would have been his Cybertronian mode, and then Prime was the Earth mode. So yeah.
Again, the story for Rid is absolute dross. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Also says, still called BS that he killed Skylynx and Darksteel. Oh yeah, the two Predacons at the end, and wasn't constantly hunted down by Predaking wasn't in the show. Again, the writing for RID, don't worry about it. It was bad. It's a bad show. Mr. White says, every line Hasbro seems to create a Starscream, then make the designers choose between main Seeker characters, but not allow all of them for reasons. Sometimes. I think it depends. G1-wise, they'll always milk them. Always.
They will, but it's how they go about doing it. Because I mean, hell, I'm only finishing off the Siege Seekers in a month or so's time because they're re-releasing the Phantom Strike set.
Is it even worth completing that when you're going to be getting the Studio Series ones?
Well, it's for the. I want the Cybertronian Tetrajets.
Oh, the Tetrajets. Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I've kind of wash my hands of the Earth mode one until the Studio Series gets put up because
there's no reason.
Yeah, but I can't be dealing with trying to buy that 2-pack for stupid money.
To
on
be
the
fair, that like as soon as that Starscream that Thundercracker hits, and then the other ones are announced, those figures are going to be up on the eBay. Everybody's going to be trying to chuck them because they'll be like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Throw them in the bin. That's
and
the way
you know what? They probably won't find buyers because
people will just want the Studio Series one.
The only upshot is that folks who bought that set up for the resale market and still have stocks of it are going to be stuck with it.
Yep.
So
fuck them. That's what you get.
Hold on. Let me tune up my world's smallest violin.
Yeah, exactly. That's where you get Scalper. So next up we have Twinferno. Who is visually an interesting one, but transformation-wise is pretty poo. I got this guy brand new on card because he was cheap as shit to buy. He came out of the package pretty loose, which didn't help my opinion of him. And he does very little in terms of transformation. And there's a lot of things where you're like, man, So the dragon head hands are fixed in that position so they do not turn left and right. He has no wrist joint.
I mean, that's been an issue with characters like Doubleheader as well for ever. That they give a character heads for hands and decide they don't want to let you pivot them to actually work as hands.
And it makes it annoying because he comes with flame effects. Well, effects are just in bright red plastic. But they're meant to be held, or they can be held as swords. And since his hands don't have wrists in turn, you can't really hold them as swords, even though that's kind of how it feels to be.
I mean, it means you get that nice little cross pose, but you can't really do much else with it, which is awkward.
No, you can see he has no waist joint either. The transformation consists of, if you look at the quote-unquote vehicle mode where he doesn't really turn into anything.
He just lies on his front, doesn't he?
Mostly that's it. Yeah, he lies on his front. There's a flap on his back, which you flap up slightly over his head. You tilt his arms. You put his arms basically above his head. I can't remember if they even peg into place. And then you just kind of split the legs apart.
It looks like you just fold the arms up.
Yeah, you just point them up. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, point up.
Done.
Possibly the legs just kind of collapse in on themselves.
Yeah, you kind of push them off to the side. So if you imagine the shins kind of go, the left leg, they go leftwards, outwards, and up. You know, the best way to describe it, Armada Megatron. You know how his legs work? That's
Yeah.
that's how his legs work for Twinferno. So he's very, very basic. Very basic,
shame
even for the warriors.
It's a shame because I do actually like his look. I mean,
Yeah, the design's good. I think like the
the
robot mode
silver-
looks really good.
yeah, I mean, the red with the silver, the black, and that touch of, I mean, it's done. I'm assuming it's in a brownish plastic, not actual gold, but
It's
it's
kind
got
of
a
like
gold-
caramel color. Imagine
Yeah.
like a Werther's original kind of color. It's that.
But it gives him. You could put him with a Dinobot display easily enough.
Yeah, and you know
And
what he
have him
is?
as like
He's more interesting visually to look at than the extra dude that New Age made for Volcanicus, whatever that guy was called.
Oh, Scar.
Yes. I think he's got a
Yeah.
more interesting color scheme than that.
Yeah.
Is he meant to be a Dinobot or is he meant to be a monster bot?
I
Not that it
think he meant to be a
matters.
monster bot because
Yeah,
that was what Doubleheader was, who
No,
had that arm originally.
double cross.
But Double Cross, yeah.
Double cross, yeah.
But then they've given him this real Dinobot style color scheme, which I do like. And the thing is, the alt mode, I actually like the red stealth bomber thing that's on the top. That actually works, and I quite like the scale effect they put into the molding on the wings, and that slight how they've got those pods hanging off the back that give it that emphasize the dragony effect. That's actually kind of cool. It's just a shame that because of the price point we're working in, the rest of it is just kind of meh.
Do you think it looks like they're two separate things? Like the red part is completely separate from the grey part?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I would not be surprised if if you look at that alt mode, it almost looks like it's three things. So you have the red jets
Yes.
and then two dragon-headed rockets of some sort attached to it.
That would be much cooler if they were like these weird. Yeah, if you imagine like the head and it's just a missile that goes all the way back, that would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to say it feels very Thunderbirds 2049, but that probably will go over most people's heads.
No, I understand. I get you.
Because we're both old.
Yes, very old. But yeah, like this is probably a little bit lower, in my opinion, than Strong Arm. Again, it's not awful. I don't think this is absolute dog shit kind of figure, but it's more on the disappointing side of things, especially when you compare it to, like, in my opinion, Bludgeon and the next one that we're going to talk about, which is my favorite.
I mean, the fact you say that it came off the blister and the joints were loose.
Yes.
That given it didn't get it was an original mold.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have any retools based or repaints done off it, and it was loose on. Yeah, that just feels bad because there's a lot I like about it, but I think the negatives just
yeah. Again, if you can get it cheap, like I definitely this is more the £10 side rather than the £15 side of what I would recommend spending on them. So if you can get them for 10 or less, 15 if you get on card, I suppose, just for the novelty of opening an old Transformer. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wasn't repainted into anything. This was like the end of the RID Warrior line, kind of right at the end. Next up, we have my favorite one, which is Stormshot.
Now, this is one that I do regret not picking up because I liked how this guy looked.
Stormshot's alt mode is really fun. It does have issues, like it's very undercarriage heavy, but this was 2015. This was also a budget kids toy line, and in 2025, for an £80 to £90 figure, we still haven't sorted that issue out. So
no. I do like this. This, even like you say, there are issues with how the alt mode looks, but you know what? I'm fine with it because the way they've sculpted it. So yeah, the shoulders are obvious, but they also like two freaking huge turbines.
Yeah,
intake turbines. That's fun. I mean, first time I saw pictures of this guy, I thought, "Oh, that's Dogfight, the old Triggerbot."
Yeah, kind of.
The colours are off, but he gave me that sort of vibe.
The
I'd
colors
love
remind me
see-
a little bit of like RAF kind of old jets. You know, those kind of older ones.
Yeah, display jets and
Yeah,
things like
yes, exactly that.
Thunderbirds and things.
Exactly like that. The ones that you'd see at like air shows or something like that.
Yeah,
It's one of
national
those kind.
display teams. Mm.
His legs transform, if I remember correctly, very much like the aerial bot ones do now.
I mean, it looks like that's basically pretty much the same way the combinables aerobots did. So the back pivots open, and then the legs the knee joint unplugs,
and it pegs in,
and then collapses in on itself. Yeah,
and this was 2015, so this was early. I don't know if this came out before the Combiner Wars ones did it, but this was very early.
I think this came before them, just.
Yeah.
So it's the first time we saw the engineering, not by massive amounts, but just.
So again, it's still kind of impressive for this era, because the other times that we saw this, it was just the front of the shins, as mentioned, with Windblade and Starscream, who were both jets as well. So this was a nice change of pace. The fact he comes with 2 guns, he comes with a pistol and a rifle, and they can also combine together to make a bigger rifle, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
And the head design I think is really interesting as well. He's got a nice chest design. The only thing I wish that they did is they brought out some different color schemes for this guy. I really like this mold. I think it's a lot of fun. And it's a no-name character who I don't think turned up in the show.
Yeah, it is odd that... I mean, not odd that you didn't turn up in the show. It's kind of odd that they put this much into a character who wasn't in the show, because I mean we've just seen what they could have done with him, but this is kind of all in.
Yeah, and this was again near the end of RID. It wasn't like the last couple of waves, but it was in the latter half at the very least.
It was, and he wasn't terribly defined, if I remember correctly.
No, because I'm not sure how many of those red packaged like ladder half guys were, to be honest. I don't remember seeing. For those that don't know, the first half of RID guys, their packaging was the standard like light blue with logo, and then the latter half they changed it up to like a reddy orange with the logo. Don't know why, but they did for whatever reason. A weird thing is, why do this guy when there were named characters in the show who you could have done when this guy wasn't in the show? Who knows? And again, they didn't repaint him. Who knows why? But yeah, I like this guy a lot. He's a lot of fun. He's definitely a guy maybe you should pay a bit more for. Like I wouldn't rush to pay 20 quid for him, because that might be overselling him. That might be my own bias saying that.
But he's one that if he was 15, you'd think,
definitely,
that's worth it.
Yeah. He's got a nice, unique look, and he looks like he doesn't just look like an aerial bot or something like that. He's got a nice design to him. And if you look at the artwork for him as well, the artwork's really nice from him as well, to be honest.
It is refreshing when he's not just an aerial bot.
I've thought of one. Not bad thing, but one thing that might make you smile. So look at the artwork from the drawn picture. Right?
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the top one. I'll go back to that. Yep. Yeah. There we go. Yep.
Look at his forearm and look at his wing. Why are you laughing? Why is it funny? I want to know. I want to know if you get it. Or if you see what I see at the very least.
Hang on. No, go on, tell me.
What do you brush your teeth with?
Oh, God.
You brush your teeth with Colgate?
Yeah.
The wing especially is the Colgate.
Yeah, but that's slightly unfortunate.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. You just look at it and
it's
you go,
not bad.
Huh.
It's just like, yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. It's not bad. You go, look at that. Look at that.
Either that or he's applied for a Pepsi sponsorship.
Yeah, that could work too. Yeah, definitely.
An 80s Pepsi sponsorship.
I will say that I think the colors are a little bit darker and more vibrant for the artwork. They're more like what the toy is more like it is. Like it's not as dark of a blue. The toy has more of a lighter blue look like it does on the toy images, rather than the artwork, which is more of a deep blue, I would say.
Yeah, the Hascon art card art that they used at the top of the page for him
I
is
don't know what that is.
that goes hard.
That looks like fan art. Fan art or something like a comic designer did, like for a commission.
Yeah.
Unless it was, what's it say? Robot in Disguise, Stormshot from Hascon 2017 art card by Sean Carmine Isabella. So yeah, it was an art card thingy. Still looks nice though. Interesting design.
Yeah.
Would like to see him again. We are going to dip a little bit, not terribly, but a little bit, as we look at Blur, who I'd say drops again down to a bit more of the it's okay, mainly because the shoulders are very long and weird.
Yeah.
Again, not bad. I think for a design for a Blur, not for Prime Blur, it's okay. The head's not very Blur at all. The head's very generic-y. And the gun, for some reason, is translucent because, why not, I guess.
I mean, I'm guessing because the tooling for the canopy, they had to fill the sprue out. So
they had room and went, fuck it.
Let's put the gun on there as well.
Yeah. He's got a good spread of blue, but if I remember correctly, I think his feet are molded at slight angles to them, and obviously don't have any ankle joints. And I think they're quite small. Is there a real photo of him? No, there isn't. They don't have a real photo of him on here.
But it does look like there's an angle at the ankle.
Yeah.
So
And like I say, I don't think they're very big either. No waist joint, as you can probably tell. Again, not bad. Just, again, dips into the, he's all right. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the head, it has bits of Blur. I think they've tried to merge Blur with like a more racing driver aesthetic for the head. So I don't think it's been successful, but as a version of Blur, as this universe's version of Blur, it's fine. It's got the colors more or less where they need to be. The shoulders, bit chunky, but given how he transforms, okay.
And the car mode is,
I mean,
it looks like a race car. I in my mind, I know what kind of race car it looks like, but I don't know how to describe it. It looks a bit like Crashes again from GoBots.
Yeah, it looks like one of those Le Mans touring cars. So the endurance races.
Yes.
The ones where
I don't know if they look like, which I'll say yes to.
And the high-end endurance races where the companies put the big money in and they can only actually go in these races because they're not legal anywhere else.
What was the movie that did that reasonably
Le Mans.
recently? Was that the movie? Who was in it? Was that the Christian Bale one?
Christian Bale and Matt Damon.
That's it. That was a good film.
That was one about Cheryl Calby.
Yeah.
No, Carol Shelby and the development of the Shelby GT Mustangs.
Yeah, I don't care about cars, but that was a very good film. Good little watch. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
I do like how this car, they have put G1 Blur's vehicle, the way they've done that extended nose of the car, so it actually does resemble Blur's nose from his G1 mode. I quite like that's cute. That's a fun little callback. So
it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Mr. White says, I always expected Stormshot to get a exclusive repaint, like Hasbro designed him to be held onto the future repaint options. No. It's been 2015. It's been 10 years.
Been a decade,
I don't think they've done anything with Stormshot.
Nope.
I can think
weird.
Yeah. And Excel Head says, yes, Rescue Bots Blur. Yeah, he does look more Rescue Bots than like anything else Blur-wise. And then the last figure we got, again, a good Soundwave, a bad Transformers Prime Soundwave. If we remember Transformers Prime Soundwave, very long and lanky, turned into a stealth bomber. RID Soundwave, He ate all of the pies. Let's just say.
I was going to say no. I was going to say what this is post-war. The Decepticons who made it, they just went off and they just let themselves go. They went into their dad bod phase.
It feels it. Clearly, they just wanted to do the fall of It's the fall of Cybertron. Like look, they went for Soundwave. Unfortunately, the scannable badge is right in the center of his tape deck boob design, which is obviously really off-putting and annoying that it's there. If I remember, he has one of the more intricate transformations than the other ones.
It looks like he does. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's not crazy or anything like that. But compared to the other warriors we've had, it's definitely a bit more interesting. He's not as hollow as well as he might appear because his back of his calf muscles have been filled in by the wheels, or by some of the wheels. He does have the Transformers Prime head design. I think the only weird thing again is the way that you can see the shoulders, and there's a gap between the shoulders and the way that they're connected to the ball joint for the forearm.
Yeah,
that's a little bit on the strange side visually, but again, this is a very good Soundwave. In the vehicle mode, his forearms just hang out on the back of his on the side of his car mode.
That's unfortunate.
And his hands don't fold away either.
If the hands folded away in some way, that could be forgivable.
Yeah.
But because they don't, it just looks weird.
There are definitely figures from Transformers that have that issue where you're like, why didn't you make the hands fold away? Why?
Yeah.
Just folding the hands would it wouldn't hide at least the arms, but it would help the overall look of the figure. And I guess it's just one of those things where they go, we just don't have the budget. Yeah. We just don't care.
It's just weird because basically the arm, normally you'd have expected them to try and hide that forearm by making it part of the lower leading edge of the car between the wheel arches.
Yeah.
But they haven't, because you can see the whole arm is just at an angle and the forearm just stuck on the side of the car.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
So it breaks up the alt mode as well because of how the upper arm works. That's really weird.
But again, he's a fairly decent figure. He's pretty fun. I mean, he's on the highest scale of them. He's above the kind of midpoint into the kind of good to great kind of range for this wave of offshoot of RID figures, the Warrior stuff. I don't like how the gun pegs into the vehicle mode as well, as it just kind of sticks up out of two big pegs.
It is a bit high up.
It's very awkward. You can hold it as a gun, but again, it looks very awkward. It's clearly meant to be on his shoulder for the shoulder cannon. And again, it's quite... I don't mind it being quite high up for the robot mode, because it feels like it's more of a turret, and it kind of can swivel around past his head. It's not like G1 Soundwave shoulder gun, where his head would get in the way of it working. This one has a bit more swivel to it. But that's the only place it will really work. It can't really work anywhere else. Yeah, again, I like the Soundwave. I don't think it was done even as Sound Blaster, as far as I can tell.
That's surprising.
And I think Japan got up to a certain point with the Transformer Adventures figures that we use, and then just didn't.
Yeah, they kind of just trailed off in the end.
Oh, there was an unused head variant where he has a proper mask.
I was just looking at that, because what's interesting is that Soundwave is also one of a few figures in this line where the light piping seems to actually work. Because all the others, the faces have pretty much been fully painted over, and the eyes as well. Soundwave just has this huge red face plate going on. Mm-hmm. But I think I kind of prefer the mask version, to be fair.
Well, yeah, because it's definitely, since it's going more G1 Soundwave, to add the little mouth grill plate piece on top of the translucent plastic kind of adds to the G1 look that they're already going for. So why not just go all in on it anyway?
Yeah. If you're going that way, you might as well.
May as well lean fully into it, I suppose. Yeah, I think I prefer that as well, but clearly they went for the standard version, unless this got incredibly limited releases and no one's talked about it. They just went for standard Transformers Prime, no face kind of look, which is an interesting look in itself. I just think it works a little
Yeah,
bit better for
yeah.
Transformers Prime rather than this.
Yeah,
But yeah,
fair enough.
that is the RID Warriors line, Big D. That's all of them. Gone through them all,
Ooh.
baby. Definitely a line that's missing figures because there are a lot of like characters who talked in the show, and I think background characters as well who had interesting designs that they just never did for whatever reason. And if you want a more diverse range of like the on-screen characters, the best way to do it is also to dip into the Legends line.
Yeah, because they had some real interesting Legends figures, didn't they? And some interesting choices for where, because didn't this have the Activators line as well?
Yeah, they had activators and 3-step changes, but for the most part, if you wanted the most, like most of them were situated in the Legends, apart from the what were they called, the loaders, the ones that had the little ball dudes who you shot them. Apart from them, there's like 2 or 3 characters who are unique to only them, and then the rest you could buy from Legends. Like Fix-It you could get from Legends. There was the Gorilla Excavator, who was a Decepticon who you could get. Overbite was in the Legends line. He was in a couple of them. There was Springload, the frog, who's the only one I'd really like to get because he's a little frog, so that's kind of cute. There was the other crab who I think was called Clampdown. Was that his name?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
That sound familiar to you?
Yeah, it does.
Maybe I can find it. Legends. Oh, they did Cyclonus for the Legends line as well. I don't remember Cyclonus being in the show, but he had an interesting design. I think he got a couple of figures. But he was there. Heatseeker. Who's Heatseeker? Heatseeker is a redo of... Oh, no! Heatseeker is one of the Stunticons, because at the end of the series, they did the Stunticons and combining for some weird reason. Yeah, there's Springload. It's Springload the frog. Springload's pretty cute. He's a neat little dude. Twinferno got one. Bisque. Groundbuster was the monkey excavator dude. What about Drift, Ratchet Prime? Okay, yeah, it was Clampdown. He wasn't the crab Bisque. He was another crab where his face was the front of the car mode, which is again quite an interesting design.
Yeah,
that one's
fun. Yeah.
Again, we're not covering these ones too heavily just because the Legends figures, and I've not had them. Ultra Magnus, but that's just a repaint. Is there anything else Underbite we mentioned? No, that was it for the unique ones there.
I mean, RIDs are an interesting line just because the way they released stuff was a bit weird.
There were so many sublines.
As we can tell. Yeah. And it just made it... I can't imagine what it's been like as a kid who maybe watched RID and then tried to go out and buy stuff for it. It's just like, there's no consistency.
Let's see.
There's stuff... Let's say there's characters missing.
Yeah.
Some of the characters have genuinely fantastic figures. Others are just like
half-assed, I think you could say. Like, whatever, that'll do. And like you say, this is across Legend, Warrior Class, single-packed minicons, minicon deployers, minicon battle packs, minicon multi-packs, 1-step changes, 3-step changes, and hyper changes, crash combiners, team combiners, activator combiners, and large-scale figures.
Oh,
that's a lot.
That is, and I do want that. There is something to be said for having a line that there's variety for people of different ages. But I think in this case they may have gone a bit too hard on that idea because, man, between the gimmicks and everything, it's just too much.
Yeah, like the minicon, what they called, the minicon
deployers.
The deployers, like
the pugs.
Yeah, it's just a weird idea because I like the look of like Overlord, Crazy Bolt. Those were the unique ones there. And they had some interest, especially like Overload, who had a almost Ironhide design and turned into again kind of a weird H tank. like
Yeah.
a H-Tank Tankor from Beast Machines. And he got this kind of half-assed like deployer, which is just the main gimmick is to shoot the minicon.
Yeah.
And the minicons, again, I would say, are like they're not minicons where you go, "Oh, Armada was cool. They had cool minicons, and the minicons for them are still cool." Yeah, I agree. These are not them. These are more
No.
like what was that game called? Was it Bakugan?
Bakugan.
Yeah, Bakugan,
Yeah.
where you had the little balls and they bounced into each other and they just kind of flipped apart. They're kind of like that, and it's like, XL Head says Andy Cyclonus was the final villain of RID with Galvatron gimmick. Oh, well, there you go. Okay. I didn't get to the end, clearly. There you go. Like I said, the show wasn't good, so I didn't continue. I got up to season 1 and went, I'm done. And Mr. White says Overload really has a strong impact vibe. Yes, he does, actually.
His head does give that big style.
Yeah, if he was recolored purple and yellow, that could work. But you can see just how like hollow and unplayable this figure is. Like he's got this looks like a 3-step changer, effectively. Like that kind of like there's no elbows, there's barely any shoulders, the legs clearly don't move.
Everything's in service of the whole deployer gimmick, which
and it's like, well, maybe kids would like that, but I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to talk about the Warriors, because in this kind of mess of kind of messy, all over the place, gimmicky nonsense, there was a fairly solid line. Nothing ever really was like, oh, this is better than the mainline stuff, mostly. But I think for the most part, the figures held to these are solid figures.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Does it tempt you, Big D, to go out and buy some?
I mean, I might do a little bit of having a browse around on eBay, see what comes up for. If I look up RE a couple of these, certainly, because
what one would you be after? Do you think?
I think Overload.
Top of
certainly.
The list? Yeah,
probably Overload. I might have a look for Thunderhoof or Bisque or Thermidor as well at some point, because they seem quite fun.
Okay, that's interesting. I just threw in. You can get the gold armor Grimlock for £15. I'm not sure if that's complete, but that's there. Stormshot, but without weapons. $12.99. That's a shame. You definitely want them with all their bits if you can.
Yeah.
Definitely. What was it? Thermidor, and what was the standard name for him? Bisque. Let's type in Transformers Bisque. Transformers Bisque. Let's see if eBay is going to be nice and show something. I doubt it. Well, we've got Legends figures. They love that's it. Nothing. If I wanted the shitty Legends, I could do that. Thermidor. And I don't see anything for Thermidor either. Well, there you go.
Oh, well.
Isn't that great? Well, Big D, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we end the show?
Ooh. I had a couple of arrivals recently. I've had Venom from Age of the Primes turn up.
Oh, have you fiddled with him yet? Or is he still in package?
I have. I've had a play around with him. He's interesting. I think it's a case of, if it wasn't for how they've done the wings,
I hear a lot of people say the wings are a bit of an issue just because they get in the way.
Yeah, because they've replicated the G1 design for the wings. If that was a separate piece that could swivel around to the back, and then back around for alt mode, it would be improved 100%. As is, it's got some really good articulation to it. It can pose quite nicely, and in fairness, you can maneuver the wings out of the way, so they're not a deal breaker. And I actually do quite like the head how he looks overall. But it's actually nice to have a full set of Insecticons.
Yeah.
Something I never thought I'd ever have.
Oh, did you get the 2-pack of Barrage and Chop Shot?
I got Barrage and Chop Shock. I picked up Tough One because I bought the Gold Bug multi-pack.
Oh yeah, you got Ransack. Yeah.
Yep, and I already had the original trio from their.
I did pre-order that 2-pack, but Amazon cancelled it.
Oh,
for me,
naughty Amazon.
Which is something that I didn't know Amazon did, but
they do that from time to time. Unfortunately, it's the annoying bit is when they do that and the item is still up, but the price has changed, so you have to go and look up. Yeah,
oh, that's really dirty.
It is. That's annoyed me more than once. To be fair,
yeah, I'm not surprised.
But it's Amazon. What can you
what can you do? You say, well, I'll not buy it from you, and they go, all right, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll make all the difference to their bottom line.
What do you think of his axe gun combination thingy?
That's fun. I think it works best as the axe.
Do you mean just the top of the blade, or do you mean when you combine it together?
Oh, as the combined axe.
Okay.
Yeah, it is quite nice that you can still use the axe head as like a punch dagger kind of thing. That's fun, but it still works that way. But no, I dig it. Nice colors, weird. I still don't understand why they did the name thing, but fair enough.
It must be legal nonsense. It has to be.
No doubt. And I had a couple of DNA kits come through as well, so I've finally done. I've gave Armada Megs the upgraded shoulders.
Hey, it's a bit fiddly to get the. Well, it's not fiddly, but it's more work than you'd think to get those new shoulders in. But it's so good.
Once it's in, it feels rock solid.
I think it's funny that DNA basically took the design. I don't know how it worked, but the shoulder upgrades I got were from a dude who did it himself ages ago. And DNA just went, I don't know whether they just took that design or if they paid the guy or something. But I'm assuming they work reasonably similarly.
Yeah, I mean,
in a similar way.
I mean, I initially did have some resin shoulders in there, which just didn't work. They were so loose. They were just I even tried some nail varnish to thicken up the joints and still nada. But no, this feels much nicer. I've got the Galvatron kit as well.
Isn't it nice that he can move his arms? It gives him so much more posability.
It does. He just feels more
dynamic.
As soon as I had it's not that. Had the shoulders in, as soon as I had it reassembled, it just felt nicer in hand somehow.
Yep.
Something that was missing from even when I first had it.
100%.
But I think Star or In Demand, one of them has Armada Galvatron for £25.
Okay.
So I might pick him up with a couple of other bits and pieces once I've got some bills out of the way. So
it's one of those things where you think to yourself, this shouldn't be an upgrade kit. It should have just been part of the figure.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's why I didn't want to get the Laser Optimus Prime, because that figure has the exact same issue that Megatron has. It has I don't think it would have been as easy to give that guy shoulders. I don't know because I've never had it. But
I've seen some people give him shoulders like that. I don't think it's as essential though. I actually don't. I've never had an issue with how the Laser Prime mold, because I've got Prime and Scourge.
Yeah.
And neither one of those have given me any issues or have felt off with how the shoulders work. It's just with Megatron, it feels wrong that the treads don't articulate in that way,
I think if there was a way to somehow make that work for Laser Prime, you would have a similar feeling to that.
Quite possibly.
Just because that shoulder works the exact same way. It's got that weird, awkward, flap in front of the shoulder, which you have to flip forward.
And the arms built into it is
I think you'd have a similar feeling. It might not be in straight away like, oh yeah, I'll definitely feel like that. But I think if it happened, you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I think part of what helps with the laser one is because compared to Armada, Megatron, Galvatron, the shoulders on Laser Prime, they're not as tall relative, so they don't feel as egregious. Whereas on Megs, because they are so huge, you think that they should do something.
Okay.
So when they don't, it just subconsciously makes you go. But yeah, I did that. As I was talking about on chat before we started recording, I went to my first 40k Crusade event. Well, not event. We're running a league locally. 2 months for each phase. One game a month. So it's going to be like 8 months.
What I didn't ask you was, did you see any team that you were like, ooh, that's going to be a problem for me in the future?
I don't know. I think I've got good options across the board. There's a couple of places where I might fall down, but I took on close combat orientated NIDs, and I did okay. Took some punches initially. So my initial worry was that the units I was losing initially got wiped out.
Right.
So I couldn't reanimate.
Yeah, because you need at least like one dude.
Necrons. Yeah, you need at least something left to get your reanimation rolls off.
Yeah.
But as the game went on, some of my tankier units started taking hits, but they could take them. And they weren't being wiped, so I could make the reanimation rolls. I could get them back up to full health. And they could keep on trucking and do work.
Yeah, that's really frustrating about the Necrons. If you don't wipe that unit, all your work might just be completely undone by the next turn.
Yeah, I mean, it did lead to a hilarious moment on the penultimate turn when one of my Immortals got killed by the Parasite of Mortrex using its ovipositor thing, where it implants. It basically does a face hugger on someone.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of Ripper Swarms burst out. So you have this ancient android suddenly has a bunch of Ripper Swarms burst out of him. And then I rolled reanimation, he stood back up. And suddenly there was a new bunch of Ripper Swarms right in front of me. I was like,
oh, good. Yum.
Yes.
Fun.
It was a fun, odd moment, but fun.
Yeah.
Good event. I enjoyed it. So
good.
I'm looking forward to carrying on with things.
Yeah, like next month. You got to get ready for November now.
Yeah, we've done all our Crusade stuff behind the scenes online. We've rolled for our casualties and battle scars and all that jazz. So I think I'm going to just run the same list until we start going up in points.
I don't know why I want you and Mr. White to have a battle tournament against each other. The War of the Beards, we'll call it. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I don't think Mr. White has an army, but you probably borrow one of yours. You've got enough.
Yeah.
You can pick from like 5 or 6 full army lists, I'm sure.
Sad but true.
Did you get anything else?
No, that's been it, to be fair.
Have you not dipped into Conflict 47 yet?
Not yet. I'm torn over that one because I don't know if I like the aesthetic they're going for now, because I kind of preferred the old one where it was still very World War II, but just a bit pulpy sci-fi.
Oh, see, I think I like it more that they've gone into the sci-fi element. The reason I'm interested in it is because I heard who's working on it, and it's like the old beards of GW, which I didn't know. And like Bill King's involved in it as well for the lore. I'm like,
it's like Bill King, Andy Chambers.
Yeah, it's like I had no idea these guys were doing that. So now I'm like really interested in it.
Yeah, I think Rick Plesey did the original design, I think, for Conflict, and he's been involved as well. It's. I mean, the thing is, Warlord, for anyone who's not aware, was founded by XGW management, effectively, and they brought in a lot of people who used to work at GW in either full time or just as work for hire. But it's always been names that people go, "Oh, I remember them. I see they're still doing stuff."
Yeah.
But yeah, Conflict was a weird one because it wasn't a Warlord game originally. It was another company, and Warlord licensed it, and then they bought the license outright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is them buying the license outright what effectively second edition is, which is the new stuff that's coming in?
Kind of. I mean, they bought the license a couple of years ago now, in fairness.
Okay. I thought it was like they bought it recently and then did the change to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, I actually hadn't been aware that Conflict was from another company until I was looking into until maybe a year or two ago when they announced that they'd bought the property outright. But it had always been sold via Warlord.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
But you know what? It's been nice to see that it seems to be going down well with the community.
Yeah, I think with the talent behind it, GW, it should make at least the game designers worried. I'm not sure they need to worry about sales, but I think like in terms of like competition with the talent behind it, it'd be like,
oh yeah. I mean, Bolt Action was already doing stuff that a lot of folks have.
Yeah, I hear nothing but good stuff about Bolt Action. It's just World War II and normal, so there's nothing weird about it. There aren't giant Russian bear people in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or like robot British men, or like Americans with jetpacks, like from G.I. Joe.
Yeah, Conflict leans hard into. They're pushing some real fun stuff.
Yeah,
I will admit.
Yeah, silly stuff.
I have been looking at the second wave of starter boxes, and I'm thinking, oh.
My only issue is some of this stuff doesn't blend with the older units. So, like, when you look at like the Japanese stuff, they've got like the Scorpion tank, which looks really cool. They've got the newer, I guess, close range units, and the other units, which I guess are the further away ones. And then you look at the rest of the range, and it doesn't really blend with them.
Yeah, I did hear someone point out that the newer sculpts, they are slightly out of scale of Bolt Action, which itself is a slightly more heroic scale of World War II miniature.
I'm guessing that's just because they're a small company, and that'll probably change over time, I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, scale creep's a thing. It happens.
More money, honestly, better
tooling. You can get more detailed, more stuff on the sprue. So, and honestly, sometimes having those bigger sculpts is nice to see the designs get shown off better.
Yeah.
So, swings and roundabouts.
Definitely. Mr. White says, I will lose any war of beards. Are you smooth again, Mr. White? Damn.
I think it's more because I've
yes, you are
now
You are mightily bearded. Well, it wouldn't be an actual fight between your beards. It would be men with beards fighting. So fear not. You might have a chance, Mr. White. Mr. White also says, but at least I will not be blown off the Wizard Tower. A discussion to be released in 2 weeks. Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes, we did have a digression, if you can believe it, in our Lost Boys chat.
No.
I know, right?
No.
Who'd have thunk it?
Now, he says, not being blown off a Wizard Tower, I'm imagining you and him having the Gandalf Saruman fight from Fellowship of the Rings, where it's just you both tripping each other over, going, Arr! Which of you selects the road of pain? Is it you or is it Mr. White?
Ooh,
are you getting put on the top of Orthanc as Mr. White?
I mean, I'd probably be the one getting spun around and flip.
So you're Gandalf. So Mr. White is the evil Saruman. I can see that. Mr. White has the rich Christopher Lloyd voice. Christopher Lee. Yes.
Although
that would be interesting.
Saruman would be interesting.
Great Scott. Oh, that'd be great. Anything else you've been up to, Big D?
Oh, let's see. Did some more recordings last week with Mr. Gruff for the deep dives.
Very nice.
Yep. We're going to start moving into later issues of White Dwarf, give it a bit more variety. Not just do so much of the early stuff, mainly because we've covered a hell of a lot of it. Me and Mr. White did our recording for The Lost Boys recently. That'll be up for Halloween. And this Friday just gone, the second episode of Fluff and Buster went up on the YouTube channel, on the dedicated Fluff and Busters channel, and it was our natter about Masters of the Universe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The classic with Dolph Lundgren.
And Monica.
Oh yes, Courtney Cox and Lieutenant
Tom
Paris. Yeah, that's still so weird whenever I watch that film to see them and go.
Oh yeah, that's what this movie is.
Yeah.
It's the movie nobody wanted because that's not what you want from Masters of the Universe.
It's such a bizarre movie because on some levels, it has some gorgeous design work going on.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other, it's just no. Yeah, it's a weird movie.
I'll throw this out. I think I'm not sure if this is Mr. White can tell me if this is a radical statement or you can. I think it is a far superior and less weird movie than Seed of Chucky. If you remember Seed of Chucky, you know.
I mean,
hopefully you don't remember Seed of Chucky, though, if you're lucky.
From what I remember of Seed of Chucky, it was pretty damn weird.
It's pretty bad.
That as well.
Do you remember when Chucky's having a tug? And then he tugs into a little cup? And then they use a turkey baster to impregnate Tiffany, what's her name? Do you remember? Do you remember the intro sequence where the intro sequence is CG sperm impregnating an egg? Do you remember in the intro sequence where for the actual like title card, they've got just white liquid dribbling down the camera lens? It's the intro sequence.
I tried real hard to forget that film.
Yeah. This is why I say you're lucky. If the only reason I know it is because I watched EFAP coverage today, because EFAP have been covering all of the Chucky movies, and it takes Chucky takes a dramatic turn after Chucky 3, which is not great. The turn from Chucky to Bride of Chucky is staggering, and not in like a good way. You watch like Seed of Chucky, and like imagine watching the first Child's Play movie and then watching Seed of Chucky and thinking, what the fuck happened between these movies?
Yeah.
What happened? Mr. White says, I'm not going to discuss Seed of Chucky. I want to hear you and George, Mr. White, talk about Seed of Chucky. I want to hear about the deep meaning behind Seed of Chucky, the thematic layers behind it.
Oh, that could be hilarious.
Me just sitting in the background saying, but it's bollocks. It's bollocks. Nobody cares about the themes. It's shit.
You know, because George does a thing with his pal. Is it Jerry?
I'm not sure.
Wolfgang? But they do a thing where they natter about movies. They've done all the Aliens.
All of them? There are a lot of them.
They did all. They chat about all the Alien movies.
Up to
the
Romulus.
entire Alien franchise.
Oh, up to Earth? Probably not Earth, right?
They haven't done Earth yet, but they did Romulus.
Ooh.
But I'd be fascinated to hear them do the entire Chucky series.
First one's okay. Second one's three's and then it really goes off the hill. Like three's a bad sequel, but it's like it's not Dream Warriors. Dream Warriors is really good. It's definitely more. If we're using analogy like comparisons to Nightmare on Elm Street, it's definitely more like 4 onwards. Oddly enough, Seed is way more like Wes Craven's The New Nightmare, which it's Wes Craven's The New Nightmare is better than Seed of Chucky, but it's the weird like shift, and you're like, what is happening? And both of them are pretty bad. New Nightmare is not great, man. There's an idea in New Nightmare, but there's no execution. Mr. White says, let's talk about Gwildor instead. That's fair. That's fair. He's just a fun little guy with a weird key. That's Gwildor. There's no sperm in Masters of the Universe, as far as I remember. Right?
It was so weird. It was so weird that they had him team up with Orko in the most recent cartoon.
Gwildor, Chucky.
Oh, such a weird.
No answer. Just, you know what I meant, Andy. Shut up.
Yeah.
Gwildor. Yeah.
What about yourself, mate? You been up to much?
As I said, I don't know if I mentioned at the start of the show, but I've been painting up my solar auxiliary. Well, I've been building my solar auxiliary dudes. I've been swapping out the heads and as many of the arms as I can with Cadian arms, which became difficult because some of the Cadian arms are very like tight. So I wasn't. It was way easier to do it with the special equipment for the Cadians. So all of them have, they've got melters and plasmas. And,
that's cool.
And I couldn't use any flamers because flamers had pipes that went to specific backpacks. So I couldn't use any of them. Oh, grenade launcher as well. One of them has. They were easy to do. The las guns were a little bit harder, and I had to at some point just give up with the las guns. But they've all got like proper Cadian heads, so they still. I'm interested to see how when they paint it up, if they'll look like close enough to be able to work as Guard or not. Because I'm still not sure.
The beautiful thing about the Guard is that Cadian is just one archetype. The whole point is that of the old system of regiments, as the Jungle Fighters, the Talon, Valhalla, that's it. The Cadians might be the most common template in the galaxy that a lot of Guard regiments ape, but they're not the only one.
Yeah, I mean, when I mention that, it's because I'm going to run them with because I already have the previous starter box.
So you can run alongside it.
Yeah, that's why I wondered if they'll work together. Because obviously the Solar Auxiliary Lehman Russ will work alongside the other one because it's just a Lehman Russ that just looks better.
The only thing you will need to do, because you've got a command squad, right, for this Auxilia?
Yeah, and I've got a standard command squad as well.
Yeah, you'll need to get some 28mm bases because the Auxilia, the entire line's on 25mm. And command squads for the Guard are now on 28s.
Oh, are they? So, okay.
Yeah, but
luckily I haven't glued them down, so that's fine.
I mean, they look fine on 28s. I built a command squad and put them on 28s, and they look fine. But I was going to say, I know you're this wrong, but one thing I just found it by chance today. Actually, I was looking at a site for something else, for some resin bits, and I found a place where they've done replacement shoulder pads for the Auxilia arms to look like either classic plastic Cadian shoulder pads or the current shoulder pads.
So instead of the little flaps, right?
Yes, yeah, so you get a proper shoulder pad, either a single pad or the current ones where you got the pad with this
a bit underneath.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. I was debating because I haven't actually primed my Auxilia yet, so I might see about ordering a few and seeing how they look. Could be fun.
I've already sprayed I did all the spraying of them today, so we'll just see how it goes. I'm also not sure, like, because I have most of them in Army Painter paint Runic Grey, but I also was wondering because I sprayed them in white if Runic Grey contrast speed paint will look okay because that's way more grey than the bluey grey of Runic stuff. So I'm not sure how that'll work because I'd rather just slap them with the contrast. Instead of painting them in Runic Grey, because my standard can of Runic Grey started seizing up. It stopped working.
Yeah,
I'm guessing the nozzle was getting tight. So I was like, oh bugger. Well, I'll just spray them white then. Also, that can of white spray is like half the price of the Runic Grey, so I'd rather use that. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, and I built the as I mentioned, I think earlier, the heavy assault, the heavy is it heavy
Heavy weapons
assault?
teams?
Heavy
Heavy
weapons
weapons
teams.
teams.
I built the heavy weapons teams and got 6 out
Cool.
of them, rather than just the 3. So I tried to maximize as much as I could. I got the 3 auto cannons because I thought out of the 3 options, the auto cannons are probably better than the las, probably better than the bolters, maybe.
They're a nice middle ground. You get
Yeah, that's what I thought.
more shots from the las, higher strength from a heavy bolter.
That's what I thought.
Balances out.
I got 1 mortar and then 1 rocket launcher out of them as well. Did I get anything else? I think that might be 1, 2, 3. Mortar, rocket launcher. Is there another one? I don't know. I'm looking over at my.
You get the full spread of weapons. So you did the autocannons.
I'm trying to think because I made the 3 autocannons. I had a piece for a grenade. Maybe I only had 5. Maybe I only had 5 weapons, but I made 6. Yeah, that's right. I made 5 weapons, but 6 people to use them. That's
okay.
Right. That's right. Okay, I was trying to figure out how that all worked, but yeah, that's what I did today. And otherwise, I've just been streaming more Everspace, more Absalom, and more. What do you call it? The other game I'm playing. What's the other game I'm playing? Everspace, Absalom, and Mortal Sin. There we go. That's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Yes,
I watched it.
I was going to say I'm still deep in Dwarf Romantic whenever I have a spare hour.
Yeah, I've seen you every now and again when it popped onto Discord. It's like you're playing that game. I'm like, oh, he's in, he's locked in, he's fucked. Goodbye, life.
Yeah,
one of those games. I'm guessing for you.
I think it's just a tiling. It's just Carcassonne on a computer. That's all it is, and I'm just addicted.
That's how
I blame Brookie. God damn him, if he hadn't been playing it, I wouldn't have bought it. And if it hadn't been like a $5, I wouldn't have bought it.
Oh, you can't go wrong for a $5. Mr. White says, this is why I'm never inviting you on a show. If D wants to, he will just have to take his chances. That's wise. That's wise. That's why I don't get invited on shows. I get invited on Gruff Show that one every now and again in the past, and now I'm there all the time. But this is why people don't want me on their shows. They're scared.
I've asked you to pick a film.
No, you have. Yeah, I mean other people. People with less
in fairness, other people are smarter than I am.
Yeah. Where can people find you on the internet, Big D?
Oh, I am on almost all the social feeds as David Kelly in some form or other. You'll find me over with this attractive mug as drawn by Mr. Gruff, or a picture of Cup with a cigar in his mouth. I contribute from time to time to ukanime.net. As I said before, I record deeper dives with Mr. Gruff, where we delve into White Dwarf and associated publications, and occasionally stay on point.
Woo!
And I host Fluff and Busters with Mr. White, which now has its own YouTube channel, still part of Fluff and Hammer, but means we can get the shows out and
go subscribe.
Not give Grushy more work. With Dreads out, Masters of Universe is out, and we have lots more to come because we've done a lot of these shows. Give it a look if you fancy, folks, and just tell us what you think. Yeah, that's me.
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy. You can find me on those places usually at 10:15 in the evening most nights. You can find me on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, iTunes, Libsyn, and Facebook as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. We're on the ccbunker.weebly.com. Just look for Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. We'll be back here next week at 9:30 in the evening on a Sunday. If you want to join us like the wonderful people here today. And hopefully we'll be covering news. But until then, as ever, thank you very much, Big D, for coming on by.
Always a pleasure.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.